Well, Thursday night football greetings to you from Lake Hamilton, where tonight the Benton 8th grade Panthers and the Lake Hamilton 8th grade Wolves are about to kick it off. The Panthers come in 0-2 on the season, looking for their first win. They've led both of their previous two games at halftime, only to see that lead slip away in the second half. So, a chance for the Panthers to get on a winning track tonight. Captains for the Panthers tonight: Cade Smith, Cade Brimhall, and Kobe Reeves. And the Panthers won the toss and will receive, and will be traveling from right to left here in the first quarter. So we'll get a look at the Benton offense first tonight. Tonight's broadcast of Benton Junior High Panther football brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital, providing award-winning health services to Saline County in Central Arkansas. By First National Title, independent and locally owned, customizing to clients' needs and professional, efficient services for all your residential and commercial closing needs. Also by Ashby Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1882. We'll be joined by Bobby McAllister shortly, as he's still making his way over from Benton after a full day sitting behind the bench over at Saline County Courthouse. Lake Hamilton's going to kick it off. They'll be going left to right here in the first quarter. And back deep to receive for Benton will be Trevor Standridge and Michael Jefferson. Juan Maldonado has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Whistle blows, and we're ready for 8th grade Benton Panther football. Left-footed kick by Maldonado comes down, picked up by Jefferson very near the boundary, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 27-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Benton right there. Tristan Hawkins will be leading the Panther offense at quarterback tonight. He gets the play from Coach Randy Shaw, comes in, and we're going to see on this first play Preston Barker and Trevor Standridge split wide to the right, give it off to Omari Coates on first down, and Omari is going to lean forward to the 40-yard line. 7-yard gain on first down for Omari Coates. Kenyon Clifton back in the starting lineup tonight at the other receiver position. Gavin Davis and Omari Coates in the backfield, and now Michael Jefferson is going to replace Coates. Jefferson's going to split with Kenyon to the near side. Standridge and Barker to the wide side of the field. Hawkins in the shotgun with Gavin Davis, the lone back. Give it to Jefferson on the speed sweep to the wide side of the field. Makes a couple of men miss, and he's in Wolf territory before he's pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Panthers as Michael Jefferson picked up 20 yards on that run. They're going to give him the Wolf 44-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 Benton at Lake Hamilton's 44. Hawkins with his first pass of the game fires it out to Barker. Barker makes a couple of men miss, cuts back to the middle of the field. He's in open territory, and he is gone. Tristan Hawkins to Preston Barker, and the Panthers get on the board with 5:56 to go in the first quarter. It's Benton 6, Lake Hamilton nothing, on a 44-yard touchdown pass from Tristan Hawkins to Preston Barker. Spectacular start for the Panthers here in the first quarter as they moved right down the field, took the opening kickoff, 3 plays into the end zone, and now on to attempt the extra point is Brian Arajo. Hold by Tristan Hawkins. He bobbles it, gets it down. Arajo's kick is up, and it's going to be wide left, but Benton races out to a 6-0 lead with 5:56 to go in the first quarter on a beautiful run by Preston Barker following just a short pass from Tristan Hawkins. And a Benton 8th grade Panther team that comes in tonight 0-2, very determined on that first drive of the ball game. Three-play, 65-yard drive for the Panthers. Took just 1 minute and 4 seconds to get on the board. And Benton leads it 6-0 with 5:56 left to go in the first quarter. Araujo is going to tee it up for the Panthers and kick it off to Lake Hamilton. Back to return is Juan Maldonado and Lane Warwick for the Wolves. Tonight's broadcast of Benton 8th grade Panther football brought to you by First National Title. Professional, efficient, and customized to meet their clients' needs. They specialize in residential and commercial closing services. For all your escrow and title insurance needs, call Jared Hambrick at 501-315-5900. First National Title located at 216 West Sevier Street in beautiful downtown Benton, Arkansas. Araujo's kick comes down to Warwick at the 28. He has a seam. He's over midfield into Benton territory. And it takes the kicker Araujo to bring him down at the Benton 42-yard line. Big return for Lane Warwick of Lake Hamilton, and the Wolves have the ball at the Benton 42-yard line, first down. 6-0 Benton as Lake Hamilton prepares to take their first snap of the game tonight, and it looks like J.T. Bardwell will be the Lake Hamilton quarterback. New look for the Wolves this year. A new head coach has come over from Oklahoma, Jeremy Reed, and installed the double slot option offense, and we get our first look at it. 2 receivers to each side, 2 slot backs to each side of the tackle going in motion. They're going to give it to the fullback, Maldonado, and he's going to pick up 2 yards. On the tackle for the Panthers was Joseph Pelton, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Lake Hamilton. If you've seen the service academies, Army and Navy, Georgia Tech, Harding in the Great American Conference, you know what kind of offense Lake Hamilton runs. That double slot option attack. They're going to send a receiver to the wide side of the field, put a tight end in on the left side this time, bring a man in motion. Bardwell looking to pass, and he's got a receiver on the wheel route. It's underthrown and intercepted by Trevor Standridge. He's at midfield. He's at the 40. Trevor Standridge gets a block from Michael Jefferson, and Standridge is all the way into Lake Hamilton territory inside the 20. It is an interception and a big return for Trevor Standridge as Lake Hamilton tried to catch the Panthers sleeping in the secondary. We've got a penalty marker line at the 46-yard line. A block in the back going to be called against Benton, so it's going to wipe out the big return for Trevor Standridge, but the ball will stay with the Panthers. Penalty's going to move it back around the 36-yard line, and the Benton defense comes up big on an interception by Trevor Standridge. 4:38 to go in the first quarter, and the Panthers lead Lake Hamilton 6-0. So they put the ball on the near side of hash at the 36-yard line. Panthers with Coates, Standridge, and Barker to the right. Clifton to the left. Davis, the lone back in the backfield with Hawkins. Throws it out to Trevor Standridge, and he drops it at the 35-yard line. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10, Benton. Panthers going to move Coates back into the backfield for this 2nd down play. Hawkins has Davis and Coates on either side of him as Hawkins is in the shotgun, gives it off to Amari, and Amari is going to run very hard up to the 45-yard line, and it's going to leave Benton with 3rd down, and 1. 4:18 to go in the first quarter and counting. Benton leading 6-0. And on 3rd and 1, they give it to Coates again. Coates gets a couple of good blocks, has first down yardage as Joseph Pelton was leading the way for him. First down Panthers. Kobe Reeves and Pelton on that offensive line. Garrett Davis as well on the offensive line tonight for the 8th grade Panthers. And it's 1st and 10, Benton just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Jefferson now going in motion, going to flip it to him on the jet sweep to the wide side of the field. Jefferson breaks a couple of arm tackles, going to be tackled by the Lake Hamilton cornerback on the Wolf side of the 50 at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, and it's 2nd and 7, Panthers.
22, Hunter Miller makes the stop for the Wolves.
Jefferson and Coates now in the backfield, a combination we haven't seen very often. Going to give it off to Jefferson, and he's going to have 2 yards, and it'll leave Benton with a 3rd and 5 at the 46-yard line. Nice crowd across the way of maroon-clad fans. And you see one black-shirted Fidelity Panther fan over there, Freddie Reinhardt on the far side, cheering on the Benton 8th graders tonight. As a long snap count by Tristan Hawkins is going to draw Lake Hamilton offside, and when they mark it off, it's going to be very near first down yardage for Benton via the penalty. And they're going to give Benton the first down. 1st and 10, Panthers at the Wolf 41-yard line. 2:51 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads it 6-0. Skylar Upton in on this play for the Panthers. Give it off on the delay to Michael Jefferson, and he has 5 yards, and the Panthers getting 5 yards a pop on offense behind great blocking. That time Justin Walker leading the way for Jefferson to get 5 yards. 2nd down and 5, Benton. At the Wolf 36. Give it to Jefferson again. He has running room right up the middle, and he has first down yardage to the Lake Hamilton 29-yard line. 1st down and 10, Panthers. Will Calloway in at right guard. Doing a good job blocking on this drive for the Panther offense. Moving the ball and 5, 6, and 7-yard chunks on the ground. There's a low snap to Hawkins. Picks it up. Gets it out to Standridge. Standridge gets a block from Amari Coates. And Trevor Standridge takes it to the house. Touchdown Benton on a 29-yard pitch and catch from Tristan Hawkins to Trevor Standridge. And the Panthers are on the board again at the 2:04 mark. 12-0 Benton. As Tristan Hawkins has thrown for 2 touchdowns within the first 5 minutes of this ball game. Araujo on for the extra point. Hawkins to hold. Snap back. It's a clean snap. Good hold, and Araujo's kick is right down the middle.
Extra point was good.
6 plays for the Panthers. They go 64 yards, and it took 2 minutes and 34 seconds, and Benton now leads it 13-0 here tonight over Lake Hamilton in a first of a doubleheader between Benton and Lake Hamilton. The 8th graders followed by the freshmen. Benton Panther football tonight is brought to you by Ashby Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1882. Doug Hawkins is a 5th-generation member of the Ashby family. The motto of Ashby Funeral Home is because we care, and they've been caring for families of Saline County at low times. We plan ahead for most things in life, including unexpected things, even painful life events. So Ashby Funeral Home encourages you to call today to set up a pre-planning session with one of their funeral home professionals. Ashby Funeral Home, located at 108 West Narrowway in Benton. Phone number is 501-778-2544. Brian Araujo to kick off for the Panthers. And he puts a foot into it and kicks it from the near side to the far hash. Fielded over there by Lane Warwick, and he's not going to get as good a return this time as Gavin Davis downfield to make the tackle. Also in on the tackle for the Panthers was Chase Gosviner. First down and 10, Lake Hamilton, their second drive of the game. They snapped it twice on their first possession, and Trevor Standridge picked off a pass on the second play from scrimmage for Lake Hamilton. They'll begin this drive at their own 38-yard line. First down and 10. It's clock down to 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads at 13-0. Now a late substitution from Lake Hamilton as they bring out a receiver, bring on a lineman, go to a power set, going to give it to Juan Maldonado on the outside veer play, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Gavin Davis, Carson Buchanan in on the tackle for the Panthers. Second down and 10 for the Wolves. JT Bardwell, the quarterback tonight for Lake Hamilton. Garrett Davis and Kobe Reeves on that Panther defensive line, along with Joseph Pelton. Good to see Kyrie Watkins in there at linebacker tonight. Had a good game last week. Second down and 8 for Lake Hamilton. They're going to run the rocket toss sweep to Jordan Foster running left, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Hawkins in on the tackle along with Buchanan for the Panthers. Third down and 10 as Lake Hamilton's had no room to run against this Panther defense in the early going. Michael Jefferson and Trevor Standridge in the secondary for Benton. Cade Smith, the free safety tonight, as the clock ticks down near the end of the first quarter. Third down and 10 Wolves. Double slot flexbone formation. Bardwell dropping straight back. He's a lefty. He's going to throw it. Same pass that was intercepted a minute ago by Standridge, and it's dropped this time by Lane Warwick. Standridge on coverage. Cade Smith coming over as well, and the horn sounds. The first quarter's come to an end, and it was a good one for our Panthers. Benton leads at 13-0. We're going to take a 60-second break as we go to the second quarter. This is Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com. Back to Lake Hamilton for the start of the second quarter. Wolves facing a fourth down and 10 at their own 38. And back to punt for Lake Hamilton is Juan Maldonado. Panther keep their regular defense on the field. Cade Smith is going to retreat, and he muffs it. Did he touch the football? We're going to see what the referees decide. Are they going to give it to the Panthers or mark it dead right there? And they're going to say Lake Hamilton's on the football. It's Cade Smith. The Panthers lined up in their regular defense that time, and Cade Smith drifted back. Appeared as if he called fair catch to field that one. Had his back to our vantage point, couldn't tell if Cade touched it or not, but they're going to rule that he did and give the football to Lake Hamilton at the Benton 46-yard line. So Lake Hamilton with a turnover in the first half. Now Benton with a turnover, and Lake Hamilton is going to have possession at the Benton 46-yard line, first down and 10. We've seen the Wolf offense go nowhere their first two possessions. See what happens here. Bunch set this time for Lake Hamilton. They fake the toss. Bardwell rolling out. He's going to keep it, and he has running room to the near side. It's going to be first down yardage, and Bardwell's going to be all the way down to the 32 before he's tackled by Tristan Hawkins and Garrett Davis.
That's good for a Lake Hamilton
First down, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 32-yard line. As Davis is going to come out, replaced in the Benton lineup by Zach Feemster. Preston Barker also checking out of the Benton defense. Michael Jefferson back in there. First and 10 Wolves at the Panther 32-yard line. Benton leads at 13-0. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Oh my goodness. They gave it off to the fullback, number 40, Weston Dobbins, and he was absolutely crushed by Gavin Davis. The fumble's recovered by the Panthers, and Gavin Davis absolutely unloaded on Dobbins. A misread on the option. Quarterback left it with Dobbins, and Davis crunched him as soon as he touched the football. Benton takes over at their own 33-yard line. And it's first down and 10 Panthers. Benton leading it 13-0. Tristan Hawkins brings Amari Coates to the slot on the near side. Gavin Davis, who forced that fumble, the lone back in the backfield. Barker shifts closer to the line in the formation from his wide out spot to the far side of the field. Going to give it to Amari on the speed sweep. We've got a penalty marker thrown. Amari runs out of an arm tackle, reverses his field, trying to get away from another arm tackle. Not going to do it. It's going to be a loss of one, but it appears as if we're going to have a penalty coming up against the Benton offensive line. Referee looking to the Lake Hamilton coaches to see if they want to accept or decline the penalty. We've got a block in the back against the Panthers. They're going to accept the penalty and mark that off from the 30-yard line. So it results in a 13-yard penalty on the Panthers from the original line of scrimmage, 10 from the spot of the foul, and it'll be first and 23 Benton at the 20-yard line. Kyrie Watkins now in the backfield with Amari Coates. Hawkins takes a low snap, picks it up, gives it to Coates, and Coates has 7 yards. The second down and 16 for Benton as Randy Shaw across the way. Signals in the play to Tristan Hawkins. He barks out the signals to his offense. 2 receivers to each side of the formation, and now Lake Hamilton's offsides. So the Panthers lost 13 yards on a first down penalty, got 7 back on a first down run, now 5 more on an offside call against Lake Hamilton. And it's second down and 11. Benton at the 32-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Benton leads at 13-0. Hawkins with Watkins and Coates in the backfield. Give it off to Kyrie, and Kyrie's going to be bottled up. Runs out of a tackle, breaks another tackle. The third man is finally going to wrestle him down. That was Weston Dobbins, but a good, determined, hard run by Kyrie Watkins gets it to the 34, and it'll be third down and 9, and Randy Shaw's pleading for a face mask with the linesman on the Benton sideline. Panthers stay in that no-huddle offense. 3rd and 9 for Benton. Standridge and Barker come to the near side. Kenyon Clifton to the far side. Give it to Kyrie again, and Kyrie is dragging tacklers over the 40. Kyrie Kyrie runs out of an arm tackle. It's first down, Benton. Man, what a run by Kyrie Watkins all the way into Lake Hamilton territory at the 39. He drugged the pile and then broke loose. And it's a big run by Kyrie. He ran out of his shoe at midfield. First down and 10, Benton at the Lake Hamilton 39-yard line. Aiden Birdsong now in the lineup. He replaces Kyrie in the backfield. It's Birdsong and Amari Coates for this first down play. And they're going to give it to Aiden Birdsong. His first carry of the year in 8th grade football. We've seen Aiden a lot on defense, and he picks up 4 yards on that run down to the 35-yard line. And a good time-consuming drive for the Panthers. After the Panthers took possession following a Gavin Davis forced fumble. Second down and 6, Panthers at the Wolf 35-yard line. Panthers going left to right here in the second quarter. Going to give it to Amari Coates on the jet sweep, and that time Lake Hamilton was waiting on him. Lane Warwick drops him for a loss back to the 44-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 15 for Benton.
Loss of 8 on the play.
Clock under 3 minutes now. Quick moving first half here tonight. Has seen a lot of running plays. Panthers lead at 13-0, and with all the running, Benton has scored both of their touchdowns on Tristan Hawkins' passes. See if he goes to the air here on 3rd and long. Now he's going to give it off to Amari Coates. Amari coming near side, and he's going to be dropped all the way back at the 50. So it's 15 yards worth of losses on the Panther offense on the last 2 runs. And Benton now faces 4th and about 20 at the Wolf 49-yard line. This Panther offense staying on the field. Davis and Birdsong in the backfield. Now they're going to go in a power set to the right. Tristan Hawkins is going to take the snap. He's going to roll out. Panthers going for it. He's got Barker wide open, and it gets through his hands. As Barker had gotten behind the cornerback, it slipped through his fingers. And the ball is going to go over on downs to Lake Hamilton at the 49-yard line. So a drive that was so promising and had moved down inside the Lake Hamilton 35 stalls out after a couple of big lost yardage plays, and now the Lake Hamilton offense will take over with 1:49 to go in the first quarter or first half. And Benton leads at 13-0. Benton Junior High Panther football tonight brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital. They provide free ambulance service for all Benton Panther home games. Rated top 5 in the nation for patient safety for 3 years in a row. If you need after-hours care, they have a Bryant Medical Clinic open 5 to 8, Monday to Friday, conveniently located between Highway 5 and Ashley Furniture. 1st and 10, Lake Hamilton at the 49. They pitch it to Jordan Vineyard, and Vineyard is into Benton territory down to the 45-yard line. And stepping into the hot box is Bobby McAllister. Bobby, I got all the spider webs out of the window there for you.
Crank up the AC for me, Jim. Come on now.
I'm telling you. We got in the box tonight at 5:20.
Wow.
With no air conditioning. Freddie and I waited outside for 30 minutes, and it reminded us how blessed we are in Benton to have an AD like Scott Nethery. We never have to wait on the box to open. At home is Lane Warwick with a determined run for Lake Hamilton, and he takes it down to the 36-yard line. And Bobby, as you arrive, this first half has been dominated by the Panthers, lead at 13-0.
Always good to see the 8th graders start to come together a little bit. Start to see them play a little bit of football like they're capable of. A little bit of talent over there, just need to develop some, and it's starting to develop, Jim.
Well, we've seen this team 2 weeks in a row take a lead into halftime and struggle to put the opponent away in the second half. They've been victimized in the fourth quarter 2 weeks in a row, lost a couple of heartbreakers. But boy, this Benton defense has really been stellar in this first half.
You know, I spent the morning talking to kids about going to school and how their grades were in truancy court. And the ones even that had good grades, I asked, is that the best you can do? It's hard to do better than zeros on the scoreboard for the other team.
Panthers defense has forced 2 turnovers in the first half as well. Trevor Standridge with an interception, and boy, Gavin Davis with the hit of the year in 8th grade football. On the last Lake Hamilton possession, Panthers have scored twice through the air. Tristan Hawkins with a 44-yard touchdown pass to Preston Barker and a 29-yard touchdown pass to Trevor Standridge. We've got 52 seconds to go. Panthers lead it 13-0. How was the drive down for you?
Drive down wasn't too bad. I was a little bit afraid of the traffic at this time of day, but it really was not bad at all. Fairly clear, not too many people driving crazy other than me, and it was not bad. Nice drive over Lake Hamilton.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hot Springs area. Always enjoy the drive. First down, Lake Hamilton. They give it off to the fullback on the outside veer, and Weston Dobbins is going to pick up a yard. Kyrie Watkins has had a good first half, offensively and defensively, makes the tackle, and Lake Hamilton is going to call timeout with the clock down to 43 seconds, and the Panthers leading at 13-0. It'll be 2nd down and 10 when we come out of the timeout. B team Tuesday night, Bobby. The 8th graders with a big win over Sheridan. 9th graders struggled a little bit this week.
I'll be honest with you. The 8th graders probably looked better than they have all year. The 9th graders came out, just didn't really have a good attitude coming out on the field. I was on the chain crew that night, and as we were watching up close and personal, it was clear the kids from Sheridan wanted the game worse than the kids from Benton. And again, I've said it before. It's not bad to lose a game in 9th grade B team, things like that, because it can teach these kids so many things. And I know driving home with one, but he learned a lot that night. And it was a great conversation, great teaching moment. I'm probably one of the worst losers you've ever met. And so as the game was ending, the first thing that came to my mind is I've got to be positive. I've got to learn to teach right now.
Back to play, 2nd down and 10, Lake Hamilton. They're going to fake the outside veer. Gavin Davis chasing Bardwell, the quarterback. Now Kyrie's over there, and he's going to be tackled very near the boundary. Also in on the tackle is Carson Buchanan. But we've got a flag thrown by the near side linesman, line at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 on the run. And Bobby, we've had a marker over there take a hit on the sideline. It appears as if the first down marker got bent back. They've fixed it over there. I remember a game a few years ago at J.A. Fair. Do you remember that one when the marker broke?
I have seen several. It's really frustrating. You got some kids over there holding the markers. And I have actually, years ago, when the AAA wasn't as guarded about volunteers being on the sidelines, I spent a few years on the sidelines with our junior high and actually got into it with a guy that was holding the chains because he was letting people run into it. Kids can get hurt really easily like that. You got to throw them down.
3rd down and 11, Lake Hamilton. They're going to send 2 receivers to the wide side. They're going to pitch it to Warwick, and Warwick has running room. Trevor Standridge with a touchdown-saving tackle at the 19-yard line, but it's going to be a first down for Lake Hamilton. With 28 seconds to go, Lake Hamilton mounting their best drive of the first half. As Lane Warwick with a run on the toss sweep to the wide side. Lake Hamilton going to take another timeout, and it'll be first down and 10 Lake Hamilton at the Benton 19. I remember that game against J.A. Fair, Bobby, because I believe they had some high school kids running the chains on a Friday night. It was, a typical Benton J.A. Fair game. The marker broke and the kid just held it up in the air. He just held it up in the air. It was hilarious.
To tell you how undermanned, while we got a timeout, to tell you how undermanned the crews are, at JA Fair, I recall one time the press box is really small up there. Recall being in the press box with the coaches during a high school game one night, and the guy that was doing the in-game announcing over the intercom system was also running the clock, running the play clock, and eating a bag of Doritos. and he sits there and he's right next to me, and the rest of the high school coaches are next to me in their press box. And he starts punching things near the end because the time's running fast near the end of the first half. And he glanced over at me and he said, "You had no idea I was this talented, did you?" And we all just lost it. But they definitely don't have enough crew to do it the way you should. Speaking of undermanned, we're going to be undermanned tonight. When are we getting our other two guys?
Our other two guys?
Yeah, to do stats and announcing and everything.
Yeah, good question.
Come on.
Hey. Me, you, and Freddie. What more do we need?
What more could you ask for?
First down and 10, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 19. Benton leads at 13-0. Lake Hamilton trying to score here before half. Bardwell's going to loft it up in the air, and it's caught. It's caught by Lane Warwick for a touchdown. And a first half that had been so absolutely in control by the Benton Panthers. Now getting a little too close for comfort here as Benton's lead has been cut to 13-6, and Lake Hamilton going to leave the offense on and go for two. As it's a 19-yard touchdown. And the irony, Bobby, is we've seen both teams really stay on the ground in this first half, but all three touchdowns have come through the air.
It has obviously been a real close game. Right then, Lake Hamilton snuck a receiver down to the middle of the field right at the goal line. Benton defender was close to making the play, but just couldn't quite make it in time. Now they go for two.
Wolves are going to send three to the left, going to run a man in motion to the right. Bardwell fakes, going to keep it, and he's going to get in the end zone, and Lake Hamilton has cut this Benton lead to 5. It's 13-8 with 21 seconds to go in the first half. Benton Junior High Panther football brought to you tonight by First National Title, located at 216 West Sevier Street. Call Jared Hambrick for all your escrow and title insurance needs. 501-315-5900. Also by Saline Memorial Hospital, providing award-winning health services to Saline County in Central Arkansas. Recently rated 5 stars for hip and knee surgery, and rated top 5% in the nation for patient safety for 3 years in a row. Also by Ashby Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1882. The good folks at Ashby Funeral Home encourage you to plan ahead because they care for the unexpected, even painful life events. Ashby Funeral Home, located at 108 West Narrowway in Benton. Give them a call at 778-2544.
Love our sponsors. Great to have these folks supporting Benton athletics, and these kids definitely deserve it.
So Lake Hamilton will kick off following the touchdown. It's 13-8, and Maldonado puts a left foot into it and kicks it high to the near side. Trevor Standridge is going to let it bound, picks it up at the 24. He's running to the wide side of the field, gets a couple of blocks. Standridge is in open field at the 50. He's finally going to be tackled by the safety in the kick coverage for Lake Hamilton, Jordan Vineyard. But Trevor Standridge with a good return down to the Wolf 43.
Great run by Standridge. Started with the ball on the ground all the way back on the actually, I guess this field's east and west, isn't it? On the south side of the field at the 25, and ran all the way to the opposite sideline, headed to the end zone, and got a nice return back to set the offense up for maybe 1 or 2 plays.
See if the Panthers can strike in a hurry here. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Hawkins is going to go with the hard count, get Lake Hamilton to jump.
There's a free 5 yards. We'll take those anytime.
So it'll move it from the 43 down to the 38. It'll be 1st and 5, Benton. Distance not the issue so much as the time clock is, with 10 seconds to go, and Randy Shaw's going to take a timeout and bring the offense over to the sideline.
They will do very well to be able to get 2 plays off. I think that's about the limit of what you can do here. Preferably a pass. The clock will stop anything completed past the first yardsticks. Benton does have, according to the clock, obviously the clock's not completely right. Benton, I'm assuming, has a timeout left, at least one.
Yeah, they have not changed the timeouts left on the scoreboard. And quite frankly, I hadn't kept up with it, trying to do it solo until you got here, Mr. McAllister.
I would say two heads are better than one, but you and I together, it's probably more like 1 1/4. I'm afraid I may only be the quarter.
Did you stop and eat on the way down?
No, I didn't. Had a peanut butter sandwich before I left.
Kind of hard to drive through Hot Springs and not stop somewhere and eat again. 1st and 5 Benton at the Lake Hamilton 38. Barker and Standridge to the right. Now Hawkins is going to roll that way. He's going to overthrow Standridge, and it was almost intercepted by J.T. Bardwell, the safety.
Trevor was curling in. Pass was thrown a little bit outside of him, closer to the safety than it was to Trevor. Trevor had no way to get a hand on it. They'll have one more play with 3.9 seconds left and up 13-8.
Randy Shaw's going to take another timeout as we've got a Wolf player also shaken up on that last play. I believe that's Juan Maldonado. They're Mr. Do-It-All. Seen him carry the ball, seen him on defense, seen him kick off. Now a little slow to get up at the 40-yard line. Now he's up on his feet. Coming to the sideline a little gingerly.
Walking, but a noticeable limp. Never good to see a kid go down. Hopefully he'll be okay and back in the second half after a little break.
It's a nice, well-deserved hand from the Lake Hamilton faithful. Benton offense huddled up with Coach Shaw on the far sideline. See what he can dial up here on 2nd and 5 at the Lake Hamilton 38. 3.9 seconds to go in the first half, and time for one more play.
It's like 4th down and 38. There's not a whole lot of plays in the book for that.
You'll see how far Tristan can throw it. That's right here.
Or else throw one somewhere downfield a little ways and hope someone breaks the tackle.
Preston Barker and Amari Coates are going to split to one side. Canyon Clifton to the opposite side. Kyrie Watkins and Gavin Davis back there to help protect Tristan Hawkins as he rolls out, and he throws it short of Amari Coates. And the hometown scorekeeper lets the clock expire. Who can blame him? They go to halftime. Panthers lead at 13-8. We're going to take a 5-minute break for halftime, and then we'll come back. We're going to get Freddie on to do some predictions tonight, but Freddie's over across the way in the middle of the Panther faithful. So 5-minute break. Benton leads at 13-8 at halftime. Come back and join us for the second half. This is Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com. Back to Lake Hamilton for the start of the second half. Benton leads at 13-8 as we go into the third quarter. Benton Panther football tonight brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital, First National Title, and Ashby Funeral Home. Panthers got on the board just a minute and 4 seconds into the ball game. 3-play, 65-yard drive. Tristan Hawkins connecting with Preston Barker on a 44-yard touchdown. The extra point failed, and Benton led it 6-0. Trevor Standridge picked off a Wolf pass at the 4:38 mark of the first quarter, and 6 plays, 64 yards later, Standridge caught a 29-yard touchdown from Tristan Hawkins. Brian Araujo kicked through the extra point, and at the end of the first quarter, Benton led it 13-0. The only scoring in the second quarter came with 21 seconds until halftime. Lane Warwick caught a 19-yard pass from Lake Hamilton quarterback J.T. Bardwell. Bardwell ran in the 2-point conversion, and the Wolves cut the Benton lead to 13-8 as we go into the second half. Benton won the coin toss to start the game and elected to receive. So Lake Hamilton will be receiving the second half kickoff. Back to return for them is Blake Johnson McDonald, along with Lane Warwick. Brian Araujo is going to tee it up for the Panthers. Benton in all white in the 8th grade game. White helmets, white jerseys, white pants, maroon numerals. Lake Hamilton in maroon tops, white pants, maroon helmets, gold face masks, white numbers with gold trim. So we're going to get this second half underway as Araujo puts a foot into it. End-over-end kick that's going to come to Johnson McDonald at the 22, and he's going to return it to the far side. Gavin Davis forces another fumble, and the Panthers have come up with it. Gavin Davis's second forced fumble of the ball game. It appeared to have been recovered by Wyatt Bussell of Benton. First down Panthers at the Wolf 42 as Gavin Davis forces his second fumble of the ball game on the second half kickoff. Benton in business at the Lake Hamilton 41-yard line. Great way to start the second half as Bobby McAllister returns with some nachos and jalapenos on top there, and feel a little indigestion in your future.
Absolutely not. Got to have peppers. Voice may be a little bit higher soon. They had one adult lady and one about 8-year-old little girl working in the concession stand, and guess who was quicker?
First down completion to Trevor Standridge for 8 yards. Give it off to Gavin Davis, and Gavin has running room inside the 20 down to the 17. It's going to be first down Benton.
Great blocking by the interior line, and you got to love the way Gavin Davis runs the football. He will take it to someone loves contact.
A punisher. And we've seen him deliver 2 punishing tackles that have forced fumbles that Benton has recovered tonight. 3 turnovers for Lake Hamilton in the ballgame. Swing it out to Trevor Standridge, and he has running room along the sideline. They're going to mark him out just shy of the first down inside the 10 at the Wolf 9.
A little screen into the boundary, had nice blocking out in front. Gavin Davis and a couple of linemen leading the way. Really great setup of the play and good teamwork there by the Benton 8th graders.
And an opportunity for the Panthers to add to a 5-point lead to begin this second half.
Says a lot about this group coming back after giving up a touchdown at the end of the first half to come back and take the ball away quickly and drive it down the field.
Aiden Birdsong checks in at up back. Give it to Amari Coates, and Amari's in the end zone for a Benton Panther touchdown. It's a 9-yard touchdown run for Amari Coates, and with 6:17 to go in the third quarter, Benton now leads at 19-8.
You got to wonder what has happened in the last couple of weeks with this Benton 8th grade offensive line, because they look stout tonight. Really good blocking for Coates up the middle. He walked into the end zone.
Tip of the hat to Joseph Pelton and Kobe Reeves, Garrett Davis, Ethan Cochran up there on that offensive line, helping open the way for Amari Coates to go in virtually untouched as Brian Araujo's kick is going to sail under the crossbar. It's no good. A false start penalty thrown against Benton. Lake Hamilton's going to decline that, and with 6:17 to go in the third quarter, the Panthers lead it 19-8. It was a 4-play, 41-yard drive for Benton, following the fumble to begin the second half on the opening kickoff.
And you know, Jim, Benton may miss some extra points, kicking the extra points like this. The leg may not be that strong. The hold may not be perfect. The snap may not be perfect. Great time and great way to develop kids. And that's what 8th grade football is all about. I think it's wonderful that they're doing that.
Just 34 seconds on that 4-play drive. And I mean, you're a guy who appreciates good special teams play and like to see them try to get that in starting down here on the 8th grade level.
Well, it's important. And that is a phase of the game that many coaches, especially at the junior high level, just basically ignore. And that is a great way for a kid to develop and to get into a college football team. There's an old college buddy of mine that was a fraternity brother of mine who's got a son that's a deep snapper. They live in St. Louis, and they've been sending me videos for the last year, and I've been helping to critique his son. He's got an official visit at Arkansas State this weekend.
Nice.
Great kid, and great for him.
Brian Araujo kicks it off for the Panthers, and he's going to kick it. Juan Maldonado catches it at the 30. He's returning it up over the 40-yard line, and down on the tackle for the Benton special teams, Carson Buchanan.
And let's point out that Maldonado was the young man that was helped off before the half. Good to see him back out there returning the kick.
1st and 10 Wolves at their own 41-yard line. And Bobby, you're getting to see a new-look Lake Hamilton offense. We're used to Coach Jerry Clay in a myriad of formations that he would run and throw at you every year. Now Lake Hamilton in this sort of double slot offense that Service Academy option-style football. You got 2 slot backs in the formation this time, 2 split to the left. Going to run the toss sweep to the near side. It's going to be a 3-yard gain. Joseph Pelton in on the tackle along with Kyrie Watkins. And we've got a holding call coming up against Lake Hamilton.
That one was coming back. He was going to be dropped for a loss, but had a Lake Hamilton player hold Benton's edge to give the runner the corner. I was going to give you a great story back before there was turf on this field. Jerry Clay, I've literally seen him kneel down in the middle of his offense in pregame and drop a play. That was the kind of offense you had under Jerry Clay. Very creative, great coach, very successful here, and you never knew what he was going to do. Didn't have a clue. It was great. Good guy.
Very successful at Fountain Lake before coming over to Lake Hamilton. And I tell you what I admired the last couple of years, Bobby, after that injury he suffered, even on the scooter, the motorized scooter out on the field, still coaching him up over here at Lake Hamilton.
Oh, he went after it. Jerry Clay went after it. Great coach, great guy.
Penalty's going to take it all the way back to the 28-yard line. Bardwell's going to keep, and he's going to run into Gavin Davis for another loss back to the 26.
And that name pops up again. Gavin Davis just laid the wood, and the quarterback was stopped in his tracks and landed on his back. That's what good football looks like.
2nd down and 25 for Lake Hamilton at their own 26, and the Wolf offense is going backwards. Gavin Davis is helping to move them in that direction. 4:56 to go in the third quarter. Benton leads at 19-8 as the Wolves are going to have a tight end to the left. 2 slot backs, going to send the man in motion to the right. Bardwell drops the snap, and now he's going to be thrown for a big loss. Fumbles. Kyrie Watkins picks it up. Does he score? They're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. So another turnover by that Benton defense. Bobby, 4 turnovers tonight forced, and the Panthers are in business at the Wolf 1.
Fantastic play. Lake Hamilton quarterback obviously getting stopped and about to be brought down by the Benton defenders. Let the ball swing wide away from his body and just lost control before he hit the ground. Now Benton's offense has a chance to score another touchdown and go up by close to 20.
Panthers line up in what appears to be a quarterback sneak set, and that's exactly what happens as Tristan Hawkins takes it into the end zone, and Benton now leads it 25-8 with 4:30 to go in the third quarter.
Let's see if they'll kick it or run it. Interesting decision here with a 17-point lead. And they are bringing in the offense this time to go for 2.
Panthers lining up to go for two. Amari Coates is the up back. Gavin Davis is lined up to the left side of Hawkins. I bet Gavin gets it. He does. And Lake Hamilton was expecting it too, and they dropped Gavin short of the goal line. So, Bobby, we've seen the second half be the undoing for the Benton 8th graders in the first two games this year. How about 2 touchdowns on the strength of 2 turnovers to start the second half tonight?
What you want to see from a young team like this, an 8th grade group, they haven't ever played together. They don't know each other, don't know their coaches that well. Yes, they may have been friends and may have played a little future Panther, but they don't have the experience of being one team. You want to see how they start the season, and you want to see them progress. If folks will leave the mindset of we've got to win every game as 8th graders. We want our kids to improve, to get better, to learn to play the game. This group's doing it. This group is really doing that.
And one of the most obvious marks of improvement this week in this ball game thus far has been the defense. We've seen the defense get gashed in the second half the last 2 weeks. The defense exerting their will in the third quarter here tonight.
It's really fun to see that. I'm enjoying watching them. Great group of kids, play with a lot of spirit. They played with a lot of heart the last few weeks, and again, just seem to be getting better every day.
Lake Hamilton sends Trent Singleton and Lane Warwick back deep to receive as Brian Araujo is going to get to kick it off again, and he kicks it end over end, kicks it short, and coming up to receive it for Lake Hamilton was Houston Way, and he's going to return it over the 50 into Panther territory at the 46-yard line. So with 4:24 to go in the third quarter, Lake Hamilton's going to have it in Benton territory. Panthers lead at 25-8.
And we will see the defense get tested here as Lake Hamilton is set up down in between the Benton 47 and 46-yard line. Interesting, the referee moved it from halfway in between up all the way up to the 46. But 46 yards from pay dirt, and we'll see if the defense can really step up after putting Lake Hamilton in good field position.
So we'll see what this Wolf offense does. The double slot option offense, not built to come from behind. See what they elect to do here. They're going to give it on the outside veer to the fullback. Carrying the football that time was Weston Dobbins. Kyrie Watkins in on the tackle along with Garrett Davis. It's a loss of 1, and the Benton defense has been ready all night long for this Wolf run attack.
Not much room for Mr. Dobbins on that play. He tried the right side of Benton's defensive line, and there was just nothing there. It looked for a second like there might be a little opening, and they closed the gap very quickly.
2nd down and 11 for the Wolves. Ball in the center of the field at the Benton 47-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Going to run the rocket toss to Lane Warwick, and we saw him pick up big yardage on that toward the end of the first half, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage that time as Carson Buchanan led the way for the Benton defense.
Benton's defense is set up with 8 men in the box, and what I mean for that, if you guys don't know that are listening, we have 8 defenders from tight end to tight end and 3 linebackers all squeezed up to try to stop that inside running. Only 3 defensive backs set up in a triangle, more or less, out sideline to sideline with a free safety basically playing center field about 10, 12 yards back. It's a great way to stop this kind of tight, crushed-together offense.
3rd down and 11 for Lake Hamilton. They're going to give it to the fullback, and he had nowhere to run up the middle as the Panther defense just very strong on that run game. Leading the way, Cade Brimhall and Ethan Cochran. And it was a loss of a yard on that play. 4th and 12 for the Wolves with 2:24 to go in the third quarter. Benton leading at 25-8. And Lake Hamilton's going to line up and appear as if they're going to punt it away.
Well, we said it was time to see if the Benton defense could step up, and step up they did. Lake Hamilton once again with negative yards on the second half drive.
Snap back to Maldonado. He puts a foot into it. It's a good punt that's going to hit at the 28. Take a Lake Hamilton Wolf roll down to the 21. where it's going to be downed by Lake Hamilton's Jordan Vineyard. A minute 54 to go in the third quarter. Benton 8th grade leads it tonight over Lake Hamilton 25-8. This is Benton Panther football brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital, First National Title, and Ashby Funeral Home. Also want to give a shout out to the sweet gals at Banana Graphics for our new broadcast polos. Bobby, how you like those?
I'm looking.
I
don't have one.
You got to be on the Friday night crew to
wow.
get one. So Gavin Davis with a big hole on first down. And he's going to carry for 8 yards on that first down run as the clock down to a minute. Well, why in the world was the clock stopped? Minute 45, now it's rolling again. 8 yards for Gavin.
Itchy trigger finger on the home clock operator. But we probably need to talk at some point in time about the discrimination against junior high broadcasters.
Sarah and Tamika do a great job at Banana Graphics, and we appreciate the good job they did on our broadcast shirts. We'll have them on tomorrow night at Russellville. Boy, a big game tomorrow to open 6A. This sounds weird. 6A West conference play.
It's a whole new world, and Russellville is looking tough early in the season. This could be a really big test for our Friday night Benton Panthers.
Going to be a great game tomorrow night at Cyclone Stadium. Kickoff at 7, pregame at 6:30. Swing pass out to Preston Barker, and he's going to have it up to the 28-yard line, and it'll be fourth down for the Panthers. Now, you can follow Benton Panther football tomorrow night on Fox Sports Arkansas. You can hear it on the radio live, 690 AM, 93.7 FM, or at foxsportsarkansas.com. You can also watch live video stream courtesy of Fidelity Local 6 through the link at bentonpantherfootball.com, whether you choose to listen or watch. Well, we hope if you can't make it to Russellville tomorrow, you'll follow along with us. Should just be an absolute great ball game. Fourth down and 3, Benton at their own 28. Now Tristan Hawkins is going to take a couple of steps back, and the Panthers are going to punt it away. Snap to Hawkins, puts his foot into it, and it's a good spiraling punt. It's going to hit at the Lake Hamilton 44 and roll down to the 39 and be down there by Trevor Standards. Third quarter comes to an end. Benton leads it 25-8. We're going to take a 60-second break and be back for the fourth quarter of Benton Panther 8th grade football on bentonpantherfootball.com. Back to Lake Hamilton for the start of the fourth quarter. Benton leads at 25-8, and the Wolves have the ball at their own 39-yard line. First and 10, and the Wolves are going to run the outside veer again to the fullback, and he is absolutely crunched by Justin Walker. It's a great form tackle, Bobby.
You gotta love what you're seeing from this Benton defense. It looks like Lake Hamilton's opening holes initially, and they're closing up so quickly. A gain of a very short 2 on that play. But the Benton defenders are really running to the ball like I've not seen them this year.
Great pursuit, great form tackle that time by Justin Walker. Second down and 9 for the Wolves. They're going to run the toss to the near side, and hit in the backfield is Number 16 for Lake Hamilton, Hunter Doss. Kyrie Watkins, the first to hit him, and Carson Buchanan finishes off the tackle all the way back at the 34. It's a loss of 6, and the Wolves have 3rd down and 15.
Again, Lake Hamilton tries to go wide on the play. Benton's pursuit, forgive me, too many chips, too many peppers, chasing them down for the big 6-yard loss on the play. Great play by the Panthers.
Clock ticking away on the Wolves. Benton leads at 25-8 as the clock is now under the 5:40 mark in the 4th quarter. Panther defense with 5 on the line, 3 linebackers. Everybody in tight, dropping back to pass for Lake Hamilton, and they complete it out there to Lane Warwick, and Warwick has 1st down yardage. He's tackled by Canyon Clifton, but we got a flag back near the line of scrimmage, Bobby, and we'll see what this one's all about.
And I'm afraid with where that flag is thrown that it may be against the defense. I thought I saw the right guard for the Lake Hamilton offense move early, but that should have stopped play and drawn a whistle if it was offense.
Yeah, they're going to bring it back and call false start against Lake Hamilton, so a big 1st down converting pitch and catch for Lake Hamilton is going to be wiped out by the penalty, and that's going to take it inside the 30 and leave the Wolves with a 3rd down and 20. So they convert on 3rd and 15, and the penalty wipes it out. A gift to the Benton defense.
Well, it makes you wonder about the officiating crew. It was a false start on the right guard for Lake Hamilton. The line judge here on this side of the field, on the home side of the field, saw it. But your whistle blows on a false start.
3rd down and 20. Lake Hamilton at the 29-yard line. Stay in that double slot offense. Send a man in motion. Rolling out is Bardwell. He's looking for Warwick again. Plants his feet. Throws high up in the air. Warwick with a good catch, and he's going to have the 1st down. That was a great athletic play by Lane Warwick of the Wolves.
Great job of focusing on the ball and not getting distracted. Good defense on the play. The defender, it looked like almost skimmed the bottom of the ball with his hand, and the ball just went into Warwick's hand. Warwick jumped and caught it at its highest point and took off downfield, thankfully caught from behind.
Warwick coming to the sideline, favoring his left arm for Lake Hamilton. Checking in is Blake Johnson McDonald in his place. It's 1st and 10 Lake Hamilton at the Benton 45-yard line. Benton leads it 25-8 with 4:35 to go in the 4th quarter. They give it off to the first man through, and I'm telling you, Lake Hamilton has had no success running the fullback tonight against that Benton defensive front. Ethan Cochran and Joseph Pelton that time on the tackle for Benton.
They should give strong consideration to putting that play back in the back pocket. Get out the Sharpie, mark it off the play chart that's in your hand, and look for something else, because that one isn't working.
That double slot offense, everything kind of revolves around the fullback dive, and if you can't establish that, you're in a fix offensively. And Benton has certainly shut that down tonight. Going to run the toss this time to Doss, and he's going to get around Skylar Upton. Doss with running room, and Doss is going to be tackled by Michael Jefferson just short of the goal line. It is a big run for Hunter Doss of 43 yards. And Lake Hamilton has 1st and goal at the Benton 2.
Glad you could see it. Where we're at in the press box, I lost sight of him about the 20 and had no idea what was happening from that point. Did a good job of describing it, Jim.
Well, thank you.
You ought to do this more often.
Well, I tell you, I'm not sure I would know what to do with my life in the fall if I couldn't do this. 1st and goal, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 2-yard line. Panthers with a comfortable 17-point lead, and Lake Hamilton trying to cut into that. Now we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. And Lake Hamilton's going to take a timeout with 3:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Benton leads at 25-8. The Wolves knocking on the door. First national title is independent and locally owned. They provide professional, efficient, and customized residential and commercial closing services. For all your escrow and title insurance needs, give Jared Hambrick a call at 315-5900. First National Title, located in beautiful downtown Benton at 216 West Sevier Street, just a block over from where Bobby McAllister parks to go to work every day.
Every day. Kind of boring. Park in the same place. If you park a different place, you get lost.
You know, every time I go through downtown Benton, I can tell if you're at work or not.
What if I tricked you from time to time?
I know where you park. I mean, if you parked on Sevier Street one day, it would totally throw me for a loop.
Actually, about a week or so ago, you probably would have been thrown for a loop. There are days that the place fills up really quickly. Unfortunately, most of those are my fault with truancy days and juvenile days. And I have had to park literally down the street before. No big deal, need the exercise. But it gets interesting at times.
First and goal, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 2-yard line. And the Wolves are going to try to sneak it in, and that Benton defensive line met the quarterback. They're going to give him a yard as he fell forward, but great job by the interior of the Benton defensive line that time. Going to call this young man's name again, Ethan Cochran, having a good night on defense for Benton.
The entire, except for a couple of big plays, the entire Benton defense has had a good night tonight. Really impressed with the way they're playing. They progressed. Let's see if they can do it again on second and goal from the 1.
Lake Hamilton is going to try to sneak it in, and that time Bardwell does. Very quick snap count, and I think they caught the Panthers on their heels that time. Bardwell gets in the end zone with 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Benton lead is now 25-14.
Lake Hamilton will go for 2 here, of course. It appears they don't have a kicking game for extra points and field goals in the 8th grade. If Benton holds them, it's an 11-point game. Otherwise, it'll be down to 9, but still a 2-score game.
Saw Bardwell convert their first 2-point try on a bootleg run. And Bardwell gets the call from the Lake Hamilton coaches, runs in. They huddle up at the 8-yard line, break the huddle. Going to send receivers to each side. Slot backs aligned just outside of each tackle. Going to send the left slot in motion. Bardwell going to bootleg to the left. He's going to try to get the end zone, and he does. Kind of sidestepped a tackle from Michael Jefferson into the end zone, and Lake Hamilton's cut the Benton lead to 25-16.
Sidestep and a little showboat on the way in. Likes to stick that ball out as he's going across the goal line. That could come back to bite you if you're not careful.
Well, you know what? After some of the bonehead moves we've seen this year, I'd rather see a guy stick the ball out than drop it at the 1-yard line. What is up with that? Can you explain that to me?
No, I can't.
I mean, it's like people are allergic to holding the ball crossing the goal line.
I do not understand the necessity of dropping the ball as soon as you cross the goal line. Big Alex Collins fan. Alex Collins left no question on his runs where the ball went. The ball got walked to the official every play.
Well, I remember when Coach Fight was coaching the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first things they practiced. Back when two-a-days was really the start of football practice, he would practice with everybody crossing the goal line with the football and handing it to the official. That was part of the class that Coach Fight tried to instill in the Benton football team back in the day.
Last time I checked, until the ball crossed the goal line, it's not a touchdown. And it's really dumb to try to get rid of it as soon as you cross, because you're moving at full speed and you can't tell. Here's the kick.
Arajo or Maldonado going to onside kick it, and it does not go 10 yards before going out of bounds. Benton's going to have it in Lake Hamilton territory at the 48. So Maldonado just tried to squib that one on the ground, and Bobby, it kind of was taking a right turn from the minute it left his foot. Didn't go 10.
Squib is a real good description. I think what you had was a right-footed kicker trying to onside kick it with his left foot, and he just missed.
Panthers take over at the Wolf 48. Benton leads at 25-16. And they've got 3 minutes and 9 seconds to massage off that fourth quarter clock and get their first win of the year. And Boy, just a really smart job right here. Tristan Hawkins leading that Panther offense in no hurry to snap the football.
Let's see how slowly Coach Randy Shaw can lead this hurry-up, no-huddle offense.
Give it to Amari Coates, and Amari is going to be dropped for a 1-yard loss on that first down run. Good job that time by the inside of Lake Hamilton's defense. Alex Porter leading the way on the tackle.
It's difficult. Sometimes teams that are so used to going tempo through the game can get themselves in trouble when they do need to milk the clock. This will be a great test and learning experience for these young Benton players.
Snap clock at 17, game clock at 2:20. Panthers still shifting into their offensive formation. Hawkins just now getting the play from the sideline. Now set, going to send Coates in motion. Flip it to him, and Lane Warwick, the very talented 8th grader for Lake Hamilton, is going to drop Coates for a loss. And Bobby, that's probably the third time you've seen Coates get the jet sweep opportunity, and the third time he's been dropped for a big loss.
Got to keep people from blitzing up the middle of that play. That is poison to that play, letting someone get penetration.
Warwick, the outside linebacker, been waiting on that play all night long. Benton with no success running that jet sweep tonight. 1:30 now to go in the fourth quarter. 7 on the snap clock. Hawkins barks out the signals, gives it to Gavin Davis, and it takes 5, it takes 6, it takes 7 Wolves to bring him down at midfield. And Lake Hamilton's going to call a timeout at the 1:18 mark. Benton will be facing a 4th down and 12, just short of midfield with a 9-point lead.
Well, the smart thing to do in this instance is to drop back, punt it, see if you can get it downfield a little ways. If they do drop someone back, try your best to kick it away from him, get it down somewhere around the 20. It's going to be really, really difficult for a group of 8th graders to score 2 times in 1 minute and 18 seconds. It's just hard.
We're going to take a break following the conclusion of this one and come back with freshman football tonight. Benton and Lake Hamilton in Central Arkansas Junior High Conference play. Panthers come in 2-0 in conference play for the 9th grade game. Bobby, there's a big one tonight up in North Little Rock as Bryant and North Little Rock are playing. 3 undefeated teams in the conference, Benton being one of them, Bryant and North Little Rock being the other 2, and they're playing tonight.
And in reality, if you're, I'm not a lot for comparing scores, but if you are a score comparer, any of the 3 teams could take this conference.
Panthers line up to go for it on 4th down and 12, and the hard count from Tristan Hawkins is going to solicit another offside against Lake Hamilton, so that's going to push it over the 50-yard line into Lake Hamilton territory at the 46 and leave Benton with a 4th and 7.
Still long 4th and 7. Smart play is still, you've got nobody back deep if they decide to punt it. Smart plays to try to punt it away.
Levi Ritchie in the game at receiver with Trevor Standridge and Kenyon Clifton. Panthers are going to go for it, flip it out to Trevor Standridge. He's trying to get the first down, and he does. Stay in bounds, Trevor. Keep that clock running.
What a great play by Trevor Standridge. Hard to tell from over here if he did stay in bounds, but he definitely got the first down. And that's one of those instances, Jim, where I love to be proven wrong. They can actually, not sure how many, they haven't been switching the clock. I think Lake Hamilton may have only used 1 timeout this half. But they can almost run out the clock at this point.
They're going to say that Trevor was pushed out of bounds. They set the chains. Benton with 1st and 10 at the Wolf 30. Clock stopped at 1:10 to go in the ball game.
Going out of bounds there kind of hurt because it would have run some clock. But they're going into the victory formation anyway.
Prettiest formation in football as Hawkins takes us. Boy, he just... I think he was supposed to take a knee, and he spiked that one into the turf, and Randy Shaw's going to come out and have a teaching moment.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to spike the ball at that point. It makes you 2nd and 10.
And it stops the clock.
Clock ran 1 second and stopped and will not start again until the ball's back in play.
A good teaching moment.
Yes, very, very good teaching moment. I bet Mom and Dad discussed that with him tonight. What do you think?
Maybe even Grandpa Doug.
Yeah.
Next time Tristan stops by the family business, Grandpa might talk to him about taking a knee. 2nd down and 10 following the unintended incompletion. And now Tristan, boy, he took as quick a knee as you'll ever want to see right there.
You think he's a little amped up coming down here and getting his 2nd win of the season?
And the clock has not started. Landon Trusty, the referee tonight, former Hot Springs Lakeside, and I believe he was a UCA Bear, wasn't he?
He was at one point in time. Seems like he went somewhere, Louisiana Tech or somewhere first, and then transferred up to UCA. Large young man.
Tallest referee that we see year to year. He's about 6'7".
You definitely won't go nose to nose with him.
No.
Now you might yell at him and bark at him, but if you try to go nose to nose with him, your nose will be at about his chest.
Take a big defensive lineman for him not to be able to see over. As the Panthers are going to have to snap it one more time. And that snap happens right now as Hawkins takes a knee. Bobby Benton's going to win this one, 25-16. The first win of the season for the 8th graders. They played great tonight.
Nothing like coming down to Lake Hamilton and walking away with the W. This team has definitely made improvement. Defense played incredibly, gave up 16 points, but really holding Lake Hamilton to 0 for almost the entire first half was what made the big difference. They spotted the offense to a big lead and pulled out the victory here by holding Lake Hamilton back and the offense picking up another touchdown in the second half. Great game.
Trevor Standridge with an interception on defense. Gavin Davis with 2 forced fumbles. Zach Feimster with a forced fumble. Kyrie Watkins with a recovery. Touchdowns tonight for the Panthers scored by Preston Barker on a 44-yard pass from Tristan Hawkins. Trevor Standridge on a 29-yard pass from Tristan Hawkins. Amari Coates on a 9-yard run and Tristan Hawkins on a 1-yard run. Brian Arajo drilled 1 PAT and Benton wins at 25-16. The Benton 8th grade Panthers are 1-2 and they'll be back home next week to play North Little Rock in an 8th grade game at 5:30 at the Palace. We're going to take about a 20-minute break. So we'll be back on the air at 7:15 here at BentonPantherFootball.com. Benton wins it in the 8th grade game, 25-16. 9th grade football coming up in 20 minutes at 7:15 on BentonPantherFootball.com. All right, welcome back to Lake Hamilton, located somewhere between Piercy and Hempwallace, where the Benton Junior High Panthers and the Lake Hamilton Junior High Wolves are about ready to kick it off in tonight's freshman game. In the opener tonight, the Benton 8th graders got their first win of the year, 25-16 over Lake Hamilton. Tonight, the freshmen will be looking to go 3-0 in the conference. Lake Hamilton yet to win in conference play. Lake Hamilton opened at Cabot South and lost 16-8. And last week they were up at Bryant and got beat 36-6. Bobby, Benton, Bryan, and North Little Rock all tied atop the conference standings 2 weeks in at 2-0.
Appear to be the class of the conference so far. North Little Rock's going to get to run the gauntlet this week and next week. They're playing Bryant right now. You already told me a few minutes ago that the young man from Bryant, I don't know his name.
I just know his first name, Mamad.
I ran the opening kickoff back to give Bryant a 6-0 lead at the beginning of that game. And North Little Rock and Benton will play next week. But Benton's got a tough foe to face tonight in Lake Hamilton, to try to keep their record perfect and to set up that matchup coming up next week with North Little Rock.
Saw the Panthers with a very impressive win last week, Bobby, 32-0 over Cabot.
Anytime you shut out a team, I don't care at what level, it's a great game. Defense came up and stepped up against a very difficult to defend Cabot offense. Cabot runs that dead tee offense where it's very difficult to know where the ball is at any time, and it should be pretty good practice for what they're going to face tonight.
Yeah, you're going to see the Panther defensive line very similar to how they did last week. Going to walk down the bandit and spur, give an 8-man box to a Lake Hamilton double slot offense that may not keep it on the ground as much as Cabot does, but that is the focus of their offense.
Exactly. Lake Hamilton's going to run the ball. They're going to put one of their slot men in motion pretty much every play. Probably about a third of the time they'll hand off to the fullback. As you said in the 8th grade game, they'll try to establish the run with the fullback and then running also some misdirection a little bit with the slot guys, running either off tackle or sometimes around wide on the sweep.
Tristan Redd, Peyton Hudgens, and Sean Thornton, the captains tonight for Benton. The coin has been tossed. Lake Hamilton won and will receive, and they going to be going right to left as we begin the ball game tonight. Benton, North Little Rock, Bryant, and Conway Blue tied atop the standings at 2-0. Conway White and Cabot South at 1-1. At the bottom of the barrel in the conference, Cabot North, Little Rock Catholic, Lake Hamilton, Russellville all 0-2 through the week's first 2 weeks of the 2016 season as the Wolves come out onto the field, run through the inflatable wolf down there, Bobby, at the end zone that houses the beautiful new Lake Hamilton basketball arena.
I'm sure it does look good. I can't see it.
Hey, we are missing the creature comforts of home.
That is correct. There is absolutely nothing like home. Once upon a time, we'd travel down to Camden Fairview for high school games in their press box after they rebuilt it in the late 90s, early 2000s was just fantastic. It changed from having the opposing coaches, you'll laugh at this, opposing coaches used to have to stand on top of the press box back in the day down at Camden. They rebuilt the press box and didn't think I'd see anything that nice until we built ours in Benton, and it's incredible. The one here at Lake Hamilton, we're in about a 6 foot by 8 foot square with small windows. Jim can see probably a little more of the field than I can. I can see from the left. We're on the home side. I can see from the end zone on the left side down to about 25 to the right. So there may be some plays that you're describing not just to the audience, but to your
to you.
Broadcast partner here.
Yeah, I remember back in the day working alongside former partners, and it was always a race to see who could get the best vantage point at Lake Hamilton, because you can miss corners of the field here. There is no air conditioning. It is a hot box, and it sure makes us miss the Palace on the Parkway and the friendly confines, and the wonderful hospitality of our AD, Scott Nethery. There's no food in the box, no air in the box. We didn't even get into the box until 10 to 5, 10 minutes till kickoff, but who's complaining?
And a bottle of water is $2.25.
$2.25. But hey, it's Benton Panther football, and we're glad to be bringing it to you. It's 84 degrees, 55% humidity. At 7:18, as Austin Jones is going to onside kick this one. Panther's going to let it roll 10 yards, and Lake Hamilton falls on it. So, Bobby, is that an indication that Randy Shaw has a lot of faith in his defense to not to onside kick to begin the ball game?
I really think Randy probably wanted to steal a possession, but the ball was kicked a little bit too straight across the field, and they had a little bit of trouble figuring out when to go for the ball. It crossed the 50, and the Lake Hamilton player jumped all over it.
Starters on defense tonight for the Panthers. The ends are Presley Ross and Ethan Hambrick. The nose is Caleb Kaufman. Linebackers Bryce Gallagher, Jaden Woolbright, and David Landers. Austin Taylor and Dylan Burnham are the Bandit and Spur. They'll be lined up as defensive ends tonight. Nicholas Wason and Austin Drury, the corners. Deshaun Ward, the free safety. And Lake Hamilton's going to run a pitch on first down. And there is running room for the Lake Hamilton fullback as they pitch it to Malik Brewer. And he's going to have it all the way down to the Benton 36 before he's tackled by Austin Taylor.
Benton had a chance to stop Brewer in the backfield, had two opportunities, great opportunities deep in the backfield. He broke two arm tackles, and he was wide open down the sideline.
First down and 10, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 36-yard line. Saw what Malik Brewer can do when he gets into the open field, Bobby. He's going to be a threat out of that Lake Hamilton offense tonight. He lines up as the lone back, a couple of slot backs on the side of each tackle. They give it to Brewer again. He breaks a tackle before he's tripped up by Deshaun Ward, falls forward to the 30-yard line, and Malik Brewer has 6 yards on first down.
Brewer is a large, nice-looking young man, seems to run well, and it looks like he's going to run hard tonight. Benton's defense is definitely going to have to step up and wrap up to make plays on him tonight. 1
minute into the ball game, Lake Hamilton with the ball at the Benton 30. Wide side of the field is the right. Formation set to the right, and now 3 Lake Hamilton Wolves get a head start, and it's a false start on Lake Hamilton.
The entire left side of the Lake Hamilton line jumping off sides there, not waiting for the ball to be snapped. Benton really needed some kind of break there to break a little bit of the momentum that Lake Hamilton brought to the game early.
A ground-oriented attack, doesn't want to get off schedule, and that 5-yard penalty leaves them in 2nd and 9.
However, with Brewer's ability to break tackles and run, they look dangerous, much more dangerous than what we were expecting.
2nd down and 9. They're going to give it to Brewer again on the outside veer. He's going to be hit by David Landers at the line of scrimmage. Panthers played that very well. No gain. 3rd down and 9, Lake Hamilton.
Actually, they're setting him back an extra yard, lost yardage play. It's back now to 3rd down and 10. Great play. That's the way you got to stop a runner like Brewer, is stop him before he gets started. And now he's going to line up out in the slot to the wide side of the field.
Brewer, the focus of this Lake Hamilton offense, and they're going pitch to Braden Broughton this time, and he's going to be down close to a first down. It's tackled out there by Deshaun Ward. It's going to be short as they mark it at the 30-yard line, and Lake Hamilton will face a 4th down and 4.
And I will guarantee you this Lake Hamilton offense feels like at this point they can run the ball on Benton and move the ball on Benton. They're going to go for it. Benton needs a big stop to set the tone of this game.
Lake Hamilton's going to go double slot, one back in the backfield, tied into the left. Wide side of the field is the left. Now we've got 2 men in motion. They're going to reset, and now Lake Hamilton's going to call timeout. So some confusion that time, Bobby, in the formation for Lake Hamilton. It's going to be a 4th down and 4. And the defense is going to go over and meet with Blake Dorsey on that sideline. I guess initial impressions are Lake Hamilton's offense is really focused on one man, and that's Malik Brewer.
Malik Brewer's, as I said earlier, big young man. Looks like he can run pretty fast, hits the hole quick. Benton is really going to have to focus on stopping him before he gets going. It looks like, however, Lake Hamilton may have more than one weapon. in number 11, the running back that took the pitch on that last play.
Braden Broughton.
Broughton looked like he could run the ball pretty well too. It looks like Benton's going to really have to play solid defense in this game. Need to get the ball to the offense, which obviously was what Randy Shaw was wanting to do from the beginning of the game. Hamilton, you're a little surprised that with the first year running this offense, this ninth grade group would look this good. You know, they've been in a spread, and they also ran a little bit of wishbone under Jerry Clay. And they don't do any of those things anymore. It's a very different style of offense. And this ninth grade group for Lake Hamilton looks like they run it quite well.
I want to give a shout out to Mike McDonald, the vice president of AFCO Steel. His son plays for the Bryant Freshman Hornets, and Bryant leads North Little Rock 12-6 at the end of the first quarter. 4th down and 4, Lake Hamilton. They're going to run it to Malik Brewer to the short side of the field, and Brewer's got the first down. He's tackled by Braxton Slaughter, but he's down to the 23. Has first down yardage, and the Lake Hamilton drive will continue.
Brewer again showing just how tough he is to bring down. Broke a tackle near the line of scrimmage. Carries the ball on a 4th down play that was very important to setting the tone of the game for Lake Hamilton. And they're in business almost down into the red zone with just less than 3 minutes gone in the first quarter.
We're scoreless at the 5:15 mark. Lake Hamilton going to give it to Brewer again, and Brewer this time is going to have a very short game as Ethan Hambrick led the charge. David Landers also in there on the tackle for Benton. Bobby, 6 snaps for Lake Hamilton. Malik Brewer's carried it 5 times.
You can definitely see what their plans are, what they want to do. They want to feed it to Brewer and feed it to him early and often, and he is getting it. Young man can get the job done. Let's see if they switch it up here on a 2nd down and 10.
Braden Clark, the Lake Hamilton quarterback. 2nd down and 10, Lake Hamilton at the Benton 23. 4:30 to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless on the game's opening drive. Send the slot back in motion. Give it to Brewer. He takes a little move back to the center of the line, and Jaden Woolbright is there and makes the tackle at the 21. It's a gain of 2, and Lake Hamilton faces 3rd and 8.
Woolbright coming in from his middle linebacker position did a good job of stopping the straight fullback dive. Lake Hamilton doesn't have a big offensive line, but so far in this game they look very active and look like they know what they're doing. Benton's defensive line is going to have to match them man for man.
Late substitution for Lake Hamilton, as they had already broken the huddle and send Zach Bradley in at receiver. Going to pitch it to Broughton, running wide to the right. Broughton has a hole, and Broughton's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Lake Hamilton, and Blake Dorsey rips off his hat and his headset. He's frustrated over on that Benton sideline, and Lake Hamilton gets in the end zone on a 21-yard run by Braden Broughton.
Braden Broughton takes the pitch around the right edge, and his offensive line and receivers out on that side just simply set the edge for him. He cut it up down the sideline and was simply untouched going into the end zone for the early, with 3:49 to go in the first quarter, 6-0, and we'll see about the extra point upcoming.
They're going to line up to kick it. Saw him go for 2 in the 8th grade game each time. Good kick for the Lake Hamilton kicker. That's Jordy Morales, and he boots it through, and Lake Hamilton, Bobby, leads it 7-0.
That was quick and shocking on the part of Lake Hamilton. I don't think the Benton players were prepared for somebody to come up and stick it right down their throat. That's obviously what Lake Hamilton's plan is. They're going to hit you up the middle, and then pop Broughton around the edge. Broughton has some speed, as does Brewer. Lake Hamilton's not here, just a one-horse show, obviously.
8 plays, 51 yards, all on the ground, 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and Lake Hamilton takes a 7-0 lead. And Bobby, that onside kick gave Lake Hamilton a short field. Credit the Wolves, they took advantage of it.
They took quick advantage of it. They let Benton know that they better be ready to play a football game here. They can't count on this Lake Hamilton team just being 0-2, because Lake Hamilton obviously wants to change that statistic against what they consider one of their main conference rivals.
Well, tried to get the lights on in here, and they don't work.
Shocking.
We don't have any air. We don't have any lights. We have to keep the windows up to keep from facing heat exhaustion in this hot box. So bear with the outside noise tonight. I know it's loud. We've got the cheerleaders screaming toward us. We've got the drill team right beneath us. And we've got the Panthers down 7-0 with 3:49 to go in the first quarter. Jordy Morales to kick off for Lake Hamilton. He's a left-footed kicker. He kicks it deep. DeAnthony Harper fields it at the 15. He returns it. DeAnthony has a seam. DeAnthony is gone. 40, 30, 20, 10. How about that? DeAnthony Harper all the way 85 yards.
85 yards from the Benton 15. D-Buddy Harper picks it up, takes it down the left edge, picks up a couple of nice blocks, really didn't get touched on the way, and D-Buddy definitely knows how to take it to the house.
Anthony Harper found a seam, and he was gone by the time he hit the 40-yard line. Don't believe he was ever touched.
No, he definitely did not get touched, and that's the way you like to see it start off.
And now the Panthers line up in the swinging gate. Let's hope they have worked on this since last week, because it was a circus last week. Going to snap it back to Peyton Hudgens, and he's going to outrun the Lake Hamilton defense to the end zone, and Benton takes an 8-7 lead on the strength of an 85-yard kickoff return by DeAnthony Harper.
Great way to answer, quick way to answer. It only took just a matter of seconds, I believe about 15 seconds, to get the ball down the field. And Benton takes the 8-7 lead. Let's see what they decide to do with the kickoff this time, and see if they try to pin Lake Hamilton back and give them a little bit longer field to run down.
3:36 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads at 8-7. Benton Junior High Panther football tonight brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital, providing award-winning health services to Saline County and Central Arkansas. Saline Memorial Hospital has been rated top 5% in the nation for patient safety for 3 years in a row, providing free ambulance service for all Benton Panther home games. And if you need after-hours medical care, you can visit the Bryant Clinic, open from 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's conveniently located between Highway 5 and Ashley Furniture. Benton leads at 8-7, and Austin Jones is going to kick off for the Panthers. That man, Malik Brewer, back deep, along with Braden Broughton, who scored the touchdown for Lake Hamilton. And the kick is going to go in Broughton's direction. He fields it at the 11, comes back up the field, and Broughton with a good return up to the 38 before he's tackled by Braxton Slaughter.
Kind of scary. 3 Benton Panthers had a chance to tackle Broughton at the 15-yard line. He just ran right by them. Comes all the way out, gives Lake Hamilton a fairly short field again, all the way out to the 37-yard line. Broughton has some speed in his wheelhouse too.
Mark it at the 37. Braxton Slaughter on the tackle for the Panthers. Lake Hamilton, with their second possession of the game, we've yet to see the Panther offense, as DeAnthony Harper ran a kickoff back 85 yards for a touchdown. Benton leads it 8-7. 2 wides, 2 slides. Going to give it to Malik Brewer, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards this time. And there were about 4 Benton Panthers in on the tackle. David Landers, along with Ethan Hambrick on the tackle that time.
Once again, Lake Hamilton comes back. Position hasn't changed so far. They're going to feed it to Brewer, sneak it out to Broughton every once in a while, and see if they can take it right at this Benton defense.
They move Brewer to the slot back position this time, bring on DeLond Lewis at fullback, and now we've got a penalty marker and a timeout called by Lake Hamilton before the flag was thrown. Benton Panther football tonight brought to you by First National Title. They're independent and locally owned, customizing professional, efficient, residential, and commercial closing. I have bungled that every time tonight. Commercial
got a cell phone?
Closing services.
You need a flashlight.
For all your
I'm blaming the darkness.
escrow and title insurance needs, give Jared Hambrick a call at 315-5900. First National Title, located at 216 West Sevier Street in Benton. The problem is my phone battery is running out, and there's only 2 plugs here, and we've got to have both computers running.
And if I keep jumping in while you're announcing for the advertisers for the game, I'm going to suffer the same fate as Gary McCord at the Masters. But I promise not to compare the field to bikini wax.
Thank you. 2nd down and 9 for Lake Hamilton following the timeout.
Second timeout by Lake Hamilton this half. We'll see if that comes back to bite them.
Malik Brewer at slot this time. They're going to pitch it to Brewer on the speed sweep to the left, and he has very little running room as Presley Ross on a great tackle for the Panther defense just over the 40-yard line.
Brewer on the speed sweep around the left edge. Great job by Presley Ross to stop him up as he's forced to cut back by the contained man for the Panthers. Lake Hamilton lining up quickly.
10 snaps for Lake Hamilton. Malik Brewer has carried it 8 times.
And carried it well.
3rd down and 7 at the 40. Brewer in motion. They give it to Lewis. He's hitting the backfield, busts a tackle, and he's going to try to plow near a first down. Bryce Gallagher leads the charge. They finally mark him down, Bobby, and it's going to be very close.
Looks like they're going to mark it at the 46. It's going to be 4th and 1 for Lake Hamilton, and they're keeping their offense on the field from all indications. They've got a lot of faith that they can get the 1 yard on the Benton defense.
4th down and 1 at the 46. Lake Hamilton with Lewis at fullback, Brewer in the right slot, Brought in the left slot. Panthers with 8 men in the box, very tight to the line. Going to sneak it with the quarterback, and Braden Clark has the first down as they're going to give him the 48-yard line. First down, Lake Hamilton.
Really hard to stop that quarterback sneak if you've got decent linemen up there, especially with actually less than a yard to go, and it's first down Lake Hamilton with under 1:30 to go in the first quarter.
Lake Hamilton with 2 4th down conversions in this first quarter. One on their opening drive that resulted in a touchdown. They mark him all the way up at the 49, Bobby, so give Clark 3 on the quarterback sneak. First down and 10 at the 49, and the Lake Hamilton right tackle moves, and that's going to cost them 5.
And that's exactly what Benton needs, is a couple of mistakes by this Lake Hamilton offense. Ball's going to be set behind the sticks. A tenuous 8-7 lead here late in the first quarter. But Benton backs Lake Hamilton up to a 1st and 15 thanks to that Lake Hamilton mistake. Now we'll see if Lake Hamilton is forced to open it up any at all.
1:20 to go in the first quarter, Bobby, and Benton has yet to snap the football.
Pretty shocking. D-Buddy said, we don't need no dadgum offense out here. Gotta love that kid, the way he plays. Plays hard all the time. Great young man.
Lake Hamilton's going to split 2 to the right. 2 slot backs, no fullback in the backfield. Going to speed sweep it to Broughton, and Dylan Burnham is going to drop him for a big loss back at the 37.
Great play by Burnham. Benton kind of had the idea. You would think that this Lake Hamilton offense wouldn't try to run it to the inside with first down and 15. Sure enough, they ran it to the outside. The pursuit was Johnny on the spot by Dylan Burnham.
Mark it at the 38. It's a loss of 6, and 2nd down and 21 now for the Wolves. Back to the standard double slot formation. Tight end to the left, receiver to the left. Open field to the left. Going to give Brewer in motion. Give it to Damon Lewis, and he's running hard. Deshaun Ward is going to drop him at the 45-yard line, but Lewis picks up 7 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 14 for Lake Hamilton as the first quarter clock is under 10 seconds.
And here's the difficulty, Jim, of this style of offense, is that when they get set back to 1st and 20, they've got to rely on that running game to try to get those big yards. And it's just difficult to bite off those large chunks of yards in 2 downs. Leaves Lake Hamilton with 3rd down and 14.
We're going to take a 60-second break as we go to the second quarter. Benton didn't snap it the entire quarter. but leads at 8-7. This is Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com. All right, we're back at Lake Hamilton. It's 3rd down and 14 for Lake Hamilton at their own 45. First play of the second quarter, Benton leads it 8-7. Benton scored on an 85-yard kick return by DeAnthony Harper. Lake Hamilton with 2 receivers and a slot to the right. Rolling out is Clark. He gets it to Malik Brewer, and Brewer is going to be into Benton territory at the 45-yard line, ridden out of bounds by Wason and Ward, and it's going to leave them with 4th and 4.
Nice pass, just a little out route by Brewer. Clark gets it to him. Really not bad defense on the play, just went for the ball instead of the tackle. Unfortunately missed that. Brewer had a little bit of running room, gives them manageable distance down to the Benton 45 for 4th down and a long 3, short 4.
They're going to say the tackle was inbound, so the clock continues to run. Lake Hamilton is going to go for it at the Benton 45-yard line. And again, we see Lake Hamilton run a man on late. 3 to the left. They give it to Brewer. Pitch hits the ground, and Brewer is going to be dropped for a loss in the backfield. David Landers and Ethan Hambrick. We've seen them team up a couple of times, and it's a big 4th down stop that time for Benton.
Pretty good when Benton stops Lake Hamilton with 12 men on their offense. That was the 12th man that came onto the field late. Benton's 11 was better than Lake Hamilton's 12 that time. Hopefully Peyton Hudgens has been staying warm over on the sideline because he's going to need it.
First snap of the Benton offense comes at the 7:22 mark of the second quarter. Hudgens fakes to Sean Thornton, keeps it, and Peyton is going to be over midfield. They're going to mark him in Lake Hamilton territory at the 48-yard line. Giving 3, it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers. 2nd and 7, Benton at the Lake Hamilton 48. We'll get the Panthers starting offense as we haven't even had a chance to get to them tonight. Sean Thornton gets the carry on 2nd down and 7. It's going to be a short game. Peyton Hudgens is the quarterback. DeAnthony Harper and Sean Thornton the running backs. Receivers are Braxton Slaughter, Cade Clark, and Connor Burrow. The linemen, T. Shane Pagay, Justin Bearden, Jackson Shilton, Tristan Redd, and Austin Jones. No gain for Sean Thornton. 3rd and 7 Panthers at the Wolf 48-yard line. Trips to the right. Connor Burrow, the lone receiver, to the left. Peyton Hudgens looking to the right. Has DeAnthony Harper, and DeAnthony couldn't bring it in at the 38-yard line. Bobby, he leapt in the air a little bit to catch that one, and when he brought the ball down, it just fell to the turf.
Sometimes a young kid thinks they need to jump to get to the ball, and they really don't have to. DeAnthony could have reached up and grabbed the ball. Would have been an easy 1st down and maybe more. The good news is I was looking is Broughton and Brewer both are on defense as Benton, should have gotten 5 yards as Lake Hamilton just jumped way off sides, and the ref doesn't call it, trying to get lined up now.
Trips to the wide side of the field. Peyton Hudgens fires to DeAnthony Harper. He's got the 1st down and more. DeAnthony in the open field at the 10. makes a man miss. DeAnthony scores. What a play for DeAnthony Harper.
Absolutely incredible run by DeAnthony Harper. Made the catch at about the 40-yard line, and literally there's some Lake Hamilton defenders that probably need to be getting some ankle braces because he just faked everybody out of it.
If you were at the Palace last Friday and watched what Brandon Hunter did, that's how DeAnthony Harper looks on this field tonight.
Exactly.
DeAnthony with an 85-yard touchdown on a kick return. That time, a 48-yard touchdown reception from Peyton Hudgens, and the Panthers on the swinging gate. Hudgens hits Connor Burrow in the corner of the end zone, and with 5:53 to go, Benton leads it 16-7.
And I'm typing so fast with all this going on that I can't hardly keep up. It's hard to see the keys because there's no light in here, as Jim has mentioned a couple of times.
4 plays, 51 yards for the Panthers on that scoring drive. It took 1 minute and 29 seconds. And DeAnthony Harper took a 4th down and 7 pass from Peyton Hudgens, 48 yards for the touchdown, and the Panthers lead it 16-7 with 5:53 to go in the first half.
Time of possession's a little bit lopsided, but let's make the score even more lopsided. Benton with the 16-7 lead, kicking off again will be Austin Jones.
Jones kicks it off. It's end over end. It's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line by Lake Hamilton's Zach Bradley, and he is tackled on special team. Folks, you're just going to have to bear with us. We can hardly even see in this press box our special teams guy, Luke Hopcroft, on the tackle for Benton.
How many special teams tackles is that young man going to have before the season's up?
Had 5 last week against Cabot. His first tonight. Lake Hamilton with a 1st down and 10 at their own 29, and Benton leads it 16-7.
And we're more than 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Benton has 1 minute and 13 seconds of possession time and 2 touchdowns.
Lake Hamilton gives it to Malik Brewer, and Malik breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and he's going to be up to the 38-yard line before Bryce Gallagher could drag him down. 9-yard gain for Malik Brewer.
Absolutely tough running by Malik Brewer. Great running back. He will be fearsome when he gets to the next level if he just keeps growing a little bit.
Very impressive running back for Lake Hamilton, and certainly the feature back in this offense. 2nd down and 1. They're going to run the sneak with Braden Clark, and the Panther defensive line was ready for it. Forward progress, he may have the 1st down, but the Benton defense couldn't have played that better. Jose Simon on the tackle for Benton.
It was really interesting because one official had him marked down a yard backwards, and one had him marked a yard forwards. Really interesting spots there by each of the officials.
They're going to give him the 1st down at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 Lake Hamilton. And the Panthers jump off sides, and that was Jose Simon, who played a great game last Thursday against Cabot, getting some more playing time tonight as a result. Little anxious that time, Bobby, on 1st down.
Really earned it last week, but he's got to also learn that when you're on defense, you don't have a snap count. Your snap count is the movement of that ball. You're not listening, you're not watching for anything but the ball or someone in the other color jersey to move.
Lake Hamilton going to run that toss to the wide side of the field, and Jose is going to come back and make the tackle that time on Landon Way. It's going to be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Benton doing a really good job on this drive of stopping up that Lake Hamilton push. You got to think that Lake Hamilton's going to have to spread the ball around with their 2 big backs playing offense and defense tonight.
Halftime score from North Little Rock. Bryant leads at 26-12 over North Little Rock. 2nd down and 3. They try to run the option to the wide side. It's fumbled. Ball's on the turf, and big Austin Jones falls on it for the Panther defense. Just a misplaced pitch on the option for Lake Hamilton. And Bobby Austin Jones, like a bloodhound sniffing a trail, was on that football, pounced on it. And it's Benton football at the Lake Hamilton 43.
One of those times when the ball looked like it rolled around forever, and Austin saw it rolling out there and just rumbled, bumbled, and stumbled over onto it to give the ball to Benton.
First down and 10 Panthers at the Wolf 43. Peyton Hudgens going for the big play to Braxton Slaughter, and he makes a bobbling catch all the way down to the Wolf 11.
Great throw and catch by Peyton Hudgens and Braxton Slaughter. Right over the middle, ran a deep post. Braxton made the play with a defender draped all over him. Didn't have any place to run really from that point on. Got tackled right there, but great job by Slaughter.
32-yard gain, and now on first down, Panthers try the option. Pitch to Sean Thornton, and his foot slipped out from under him at the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2, and it'll be second down and 12 Benton at the Lake Hamilton 13. 3:30 to go in the first half. Benton leads it 16-7 and trying to add to the lead.
Really great time to take some wind out of the sails of this Lake Hamilton team if Benton can put up another score here. Lots of time on the clock before halftime.
Panthers bring the receivers tight to the line. Going to flip it to DeAnthony. DeAnthony trying to get his third touchdown of the first half. And he didn't.
Wow.
It looked like DeAnthony was going to get to the end zone. Had the ball stripped right at the goal line. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Benton's ball inside the 1-yard line. And DeAnthony was 6 inches away from his third touchdown of the first half.
Ball just fell out of bounds for DeAnthony Harper. Very lucky break right there. Gives Benton the first down inside the 1.
Now the Panthers line up toe-to-toe. Going to run the sneak with Peyton Hudgens. And the offensive line gets the push. And they're marking him down. No, there you go. There goes the arms up in the air. He was marking him down, Bob, and it was clear that he was over the goal line. Touchdown, Peyton Hudgens.
Really interesting almost call by the officials there, because not only was Peyton in the end zone, but the entire Benton offense was in the end zone.
Exactly.
There wasn't anything but toes sticking on this side of the goal line as Benton scored the touchdown, and the official took forever to call it.
Panthers counting out the Wolf defense, going with the swinging gate again. It's worked twice tonight. Now we've got a penalty marker on the play, and we've got an offside coming up. And we'll see who it's called against. We've got a dead ball offside. Call it against the Panthers.
Interesting call. Not sure. Maybe the lineman out there in the swinging gate, you got to be careful about where you line up out there, because you're not on the ball. You're about 10 to 12 yards to the left of it. Can't get offsides in that situation.
Now the Panthers are going to come over in a conventional look. The tee is out on the field, Bobby, but Sean Thornton's coming in. The Panthers are going to go for it. The tee is lying at the 15-yard line. And the Panthers are going to go for 2 out of a conventional offensive formation. Peyton Hudgens drops back, nearly stepped on the tee, and fires a strike to the corner of the end zone to Cade Clark. They're going to say Cade Clark dropped it over there in the corner, and so the conversion fails.
Wow. Looked like he caught it from here, but we don't have the best of angle. It was as far away from us as we could be. And he just can't quite obviously make the catch, but still Benton with another touchdown to give them the 15-point lead with less than 3 minutes to play in the half. It's a great start by this Benton team.
How about the 9th graders following the example of the 8th graders? We saw them force turnovers and turn them into points in the first game tonight. Austin Jones recovers the fumble, and 4 plays, 43 yards later, the Panthers cash in on a touchdown run by Peyton Hudgens and lead it with 2:58 to go in the first half, 22-6.
Fumble forced by some great defense. It was a sweep by number 11 Broughton for Lake Hamilton. Great defense, pinned him up before he ever even got real good possession of the ball. He never was able to handle it very well, and that's what made the play and gave Benton the ball back. Now here we're going to see big Austin kicking the ball off to Lake Hamilton again with dangerous Broughton and Brewer deep for Lake Hamilton.
And we'll see which way Austin chooses to kick it. We've seen Broughton with a couple of big returns in the early going, but I bet Luke Hopcroft is going to get down there and have something to say about this one. Going to kick it short this time. It's on the ground. Picked up by DeMond Lewis, the hard-running fullback, and he's going to return it to the 40-yard line. Austin Taylor and Sean Thornton on the tackle for the Benton special teams.
You know, it's probably pretty smart. I'm not sure if Austin Jones hit that ball intentionally short or just mishit it. But if it was intentional, it was kind of a good choice. They're moving the ball around a lot, trying to kick it to different places. Lake Hamilton has moved up backs and moved backs around returning kicks to try to give themselves a better position. But if Benton keeps mixing it up, it'll be better for them.
1st and 10, Wolves at their own 40. Brewer drops it, and the Panthers are trying to get on it. Did they recover again? As Malik Brewer fumbled the football, and Ethan Hambrick's on it for the Panthers.
On the play, defense recovers.
Brewer never really had a chance to get going. He just fumbled the ball. And I am trying to score this thing in the dark.
Panthers recover at the Wolf 37-yard line. Ethan Hambrick on it for the Panthers. And the Panthers in business again. Back-to-back fumbles on consecutive plays for the Wolf offense. Hudgens rolling out, firing downfield, and the Panthers have a catch. What a great catch over along the far sideline for Benton by Cade Clark.
Great catch by Clark, coming up and getting the ball hotly contested. Defensive player was literally draped all over him. Gets it down to the Lake Hamilton 15-yard line. Benton already with a 15-point lead and moving quickly.
22 yards on the catch by Cade Clark, and it is 1st down and 10 Panthers at the Wolf 15. Hudgens is going to fake it to DeAnthony Harper and keep it, and Hudgens is going to have a very short gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9, Benton in the red zone.
Really looks like Lake Hamilton is prepared for what has been probably Benton's most productive play, where Hudgens fakes to one of his running backs and then takes it on a misdirection the other direction. Lake Hamilton obviously practiced that play, got a lot of film on it, but Benton's found lots of other ways to score.
Harper in the backfield gets the carry, and DeAnthony sniffing the end zone again inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. It's an 11-yard gain for DeAnthony and another Benton Panther 1st down.
You got to like the way D-Buddy Harper's running the ball right now. He's running it with a lot of purpose. Ran that ball right behind the right guard, gained 11 yards, and he did not want to be brought down because he smelled the end zone.
Panther offensive line dominating in this first half, and Sean Thornton dominates to the end zone for another Benton Panther touchdown. Sean Thornton gets the credit, but you need to give a pat on the back to Austin Jones, Tristan Redd, Jackson Shelton, Justin Bearden, and T. Shane Pagay, opening the hole for Sean Thornton to get to the end zone.
Great job. Thornton didn't get touched by anyone until he was about a yard deep into the end zone, and it was all over but the shouting at that point. 28-7, Benton, 2nd quarter, and now lining up to kick an extra point. Looks like Austin Jones.
Austin Jones on to kick. Peyton Hudgens will hold. Jaden Woolbright snaps. It's down. It's up. Austin Jones drills it. And with 1:25 to go in the first half, it's 29-7 Panthers. That drive, 4 plays, 37 yards, 1:13 following another Benton fumble recovery by Ethan Hambrick.
Just amazing. If you look at one stat line on the screen in front of me, Lake Hamilton Junior High has had the ball for 10 minutes and 5 seconds. Benton for 3:36, but Benton's got 29 points on the board. That's the stat that matters.
You know, I've heard Scott Nethery in the past say the most insignificant stat in his mind is time of possession.
And I understand the thought process. I don't necessarily agree with that. it can mean a whole lot if you can run your offense and defense in the correct way. I've seen teams that don't have the ball a whole lot that nearly kill their defenses. And the good news is for Benton, as we talked about before, the coaches decided to put a lot more players on the field a couple of weeks ago, and it gives Benton the ability to make it through games like this.
Austin Jones going to kick it off. He kicks it deep this time, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So I'm sure Lake Hamilton's going to elect to take the football. Bobby, we saw the Panthers not even take a snap in the entire first quarter, and with 1:25 now to go to halftime, Panthers lead it by 22.
Don't know that I remember, and even with short quarters, 8-minute quarters that we have in junior high, I don't recall seeing a game in which a team doesn't snap the ball in an entire quarter. But that's what you've seen here tonight. But Benton has found ways to put points up on the board and not have the ball very long at all, mostly by return to kickoff and short fields on 2 turnovers.
Saw Malik Brewer really burn the Panther defense on the first 2 drives, but the Panthers have buckled down since that time. Wolves took an early 7-0 lead. Benton has scored 29 unanswered points. Broughton now takes a pitch, and he's in the Panther secondary. Makes a man miss, and Broughton's at the 30. He's going to be tracked down by Nick Wason, and they're going to mark him down at the 24-yard line. It's a huge gain for Broughton. 51 yards, Bobby? 41 yards on the carry.
41-yard carry by Broughton on the sweep to the right to the short side of the field, and then about at the Benton 35, cut it all the way back across, making a couple of moves. Lake Hamilton trying to score. We're inside 1 minute, but they have 24 yards. See if the defense can step it up.
Panther football tonight brought to you by Ashby Funeral Home. Family owned and operated since 1882. Their motto is "Because We Care," and that is the mission of Ashby Funeral Home, to care for the families of Saline County. Doug Hawkins and the staff at Ashby Funeral Home encourage you to plan ahead, even for life's unexpected, painful events. You can give them a call tomorrow to set up a pre-planning session with one of their professionals. Ashby Funeral Home, located at 108 West Narrowway in Benton. The phone number is 778-2544. Panthers lead at 29-7. We've got 55 seconds to go in the first half. Lake Hamilton took a timeout. Their offense came to the near sideline to meet with their coaches. Benton defense to the far sideline to meet with Blake Dorsey, Randy Shaw, John George, and staff. 1st and 10 Wolves at the Benton 24. Split receiver to the right. Brewer, the lone back in the backfield. Now they're going to try to slip the tight end out over on the far sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Austin Drury in coverage for the Panthers.
Great coverage by Drury. Could have had a little problem there if he hadn't have got turned around, but did a very good job of turning around, trying to play the ball, not the receiver, and the ball just went over everyone's head.
Little misdirection, tried to catch the Panthers off guard, and Austin Drury was Johnny on the spot for the Benton defense. 2nd down and 10 Wolves at the Panther 24, tied into the left. They fake it to Malik Brewer. Try to get it out to the slot back, and Grant Steed picks it off. Steed's at the 40. Steed's at the 50. At the 30. At the 20. Grant Steed is going to take it all the way for the Panther touchdown. That's 3 possessions in a row for Lake Hamilton. That is a turnover forced by the Benton defense, and that time Grant Steed took it how far, Bobby?
That would be 81 yards.
81 yards for Grant Steed on the interception return for touchdown. And the Panthers have advanced the lead to 35-7 with 32 seconds to go in the first half.
Absolutely an amazing half. Benton creating mistakes by Lake Hamilton in every way possible, has done a great job Looks like we may be outnumbered here, though.
The Anthony Harper on the swinging gate pitch, and he's going to be tackled short of the goal line. So the 2-point conversion fails, and the Panthers lead at 35-7. What a run for this Panther team after Lake Hamilton took an onside kick to start this game and went 51 yards to score. It's been all Benton since then. 35 unanswered points for the Panthers to lead 35-7.
My, how things can change quickly in this game. Lake Hamilton came out, got the ball on the onside kick, almost in the plus side of the field at their own 48. Looked like they may go tonight and have their way against the Benton defense. Just drove down the field, had a 4th down play that they scored on, just incredible. Their offense was efficient, they were executing well, and then all of a sudden, Benton started putting things together and has played incredibly in all phases of the game.
Second quarter possessions for Lake Hamilton. Fumble recovered by Austin Jones. Fumble recovered by Ethan Hambrick. Interception by Grant Steed returned 81 yards. The Panthers have turned 3 consecutive turnovers into points and have run away with the lead here in this second quarter as Austin's going to kick that one deep to Broughton. He catches it at the 20, and Broughton has got a seam, and he's going to return it up to about the 48-yard line. It was a great tackle by Dalton Taylor in coverage for the Panthers.
Nice job of coming back and chasing him down by Dalton Taylor. Broughton gets a nice run back all the way out to the Lake Hamilton 48. But it is going to be a very short clock for Lake Hamilton to be able to sustain any type of drive. 25 seconds to go to the half. 35-7 Benton, and the clock is rolling.
And they pitch it to Brewer. He fumbles it again, and he gets back on it as it was a near disaster for Lake Hamilton. Ethan Hambrick and Caleb Kaufman almost on that football, as it's going to result in a loss of 3, and Lake Hamilton's probably just going to let this thing run out, and they're going to. They're going to go to the locker room and lick their wounds as Benton leads it 35-7 at halftime. The Lake Hamilton Junior High Band is going to come on the field. It's going to get really loud. Quite frankly, I'm really hot. Let's get out of this hot box and go cool down a minute. 15 minutes on the clock. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 12 minutes. This is Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com. Benton leads it at half, 35-7 over the Lake Hamilton. Welcome back to Lake Hamilton, where the Benton Junior High Panthers lead the Lake Hamilton Wolves 35-7 at halftime. We'll get to Bobby in a little stat recap here in just a second. Let's get Coach Michelle Shoup's weekly Benton Lady Panther volleyball report. I was going to say let there be light, now it's flickered out on us.
You're worrying me, Jim.
All right.
I thought you had the connections.
Coach Shoup says we've had a very busy week with another busy one in the future. Since last Thursday, the 9th grade volleyball team has participated in the Conway Lady Cat Invitational, won their pool, and finished second out of 20 teams. They started off the morning with a split with BB and finished the pool with straight set wins over Jonesboro Westside and Lake Hamilton to advance to the gold bracket. The blocking power of your Lady Panthers finally emerged. Their first round at bracket play ended up being one of their best matches of the year. They put together 2 sets back-to-back at the level they can play against Conway Blue, winning 25-9 and 25-9. Paragould was waiting for them in the second round, and the Lady Panthers started off with 2 big blocks, then set the tone for the match, 25-27, 25-26, and 15-11. We got better, Coach Shoup says, but we ran out of gas against a very good Fort Smith Ramsey team in the championship game, 14-25 and 12-25. Monday saw the Benton Junior Lady Panthers finish up the first round of conference play against Bryant. The Lady Panthers made short work of them, 25-12 and 25-10. Team had 15 kills and 8 aces on the night. Grace Neighbors finished with 3 aces, and Blair Reeves was perfect on the night with 5 out of 5 digs to the setter, and Mary Grace Guerra was 6 out of 6 with her defensive effort. Wednesday was a challenge for the freshmen as Conway White came to town. The first set was a breeze, 25-12. But as your Lady Panthers often do, the second set was a challenge, but they came out on top once again at 25-22. Lady Panthers had 17 kills, and Kennedy Brunin led the team with 4 kills. Blair Reeves had 3 aces, which was half of the team's 6 aces in the game. For the year, the freshmen are 10-0 in conference and 17-2-2 overall. The 8th graders put together 3 wins this week. Against Bethel, they strung it out to a 3-set match, 23-25, 25-20, and finished strong in the 3rd set to win 15-5. Bryant was the nightcap after the 9th grade match, 25-21 and 25-11. So the Panthers went 3 for 3 on Monday night with a sweep of the Lady Hornets. Wednesday began the second round of Central Arkansas Junior High Conference play against Conway White. The 8th graders had lost to them in 3 sets at their place on August 22nd, but that was a month ago. And the 8th graders aren't the same team, they're better. And the 8th graders came out on top at home, 19-25, 25-13, and 15-8. The 8th graders will host the Benton Invitational, sponsored by Sue's Pawn and Tax Shop this Saturday, with play beginning at 8:30 in Cook Fieldhouse, the arena, Benton Middle School, and Benton Junior High. 16 teams will vie for the title, with the championship at 5 o'clock in the arena and Benton Middle School. Bauxite, Bethel, Bryant, Benton make up the county schools participating, and as always, it is a great day to be a Benton Lady Panther volleyballer. Isn't Coach Shoup the best?
Oh, she's great.
I love her.
She's just got that kind of energy all the time and so much fun. Great coach, great person, great teacher. So often you see good coaches make really good teachers.
Let me add one other bit of trivia. Monday night for the Salt Bowl, I've kind of gotten into the junior high volleyball team with all of Coach Shoup's enthusiasm and Coach Cox and those girls that we've gotten to interview at home games. I took Freddie Reinhardt. That was the first Benton volleyball game Freddie has ever seen in his life.
Wow.
And I have never seen him so excited.
That's great.
In fact, Dr. Skelton told him, if you're going to be Benton's #1 fan, you got to go to more than football. And Freddie had a blast. How about first half stats, Bobby?
If I read the stat lines to you, Jim, just straight off the line, you would think that Benton was down in this game. 29 total rushing yards. DeAnthony Harper, 2 carries, 23 yards. Peyton Hudgens, 3 for 5, and Sean Thornton, 3 for 1. Passing, Peyton Hudgens, 3 for 4 for 102 yards. 31 total yards offense for Benton in the half. Lake Hamilton with Broughton, excuse me.
Braden Broughton.
Braden Broughton. I don't have the names in front of me. I'm going by memory. All I have is numbers. Braden Broughton, 5 carries, 60 yards. Brewer with 12 carries. He's only got 32 yards because he's lost 11 on fumbles. Total net yards rushing for Lake Hamilton at the half, 109. 10 yards passing on 1 of 3 passing. The only stat that matters at this point in time is that 35-7 halftime score. Benton leading, taking advantage of Lake Hamilton mistakes, Benton big plays. The DeAnthony Harper run back of the kickoff, the first time Benton's offense was going to have a chance to get the ball. They never did. Returned it all the way for the touchdown. Grant Steed with the 81-yard interception return. And it seems strange, Jim. Brewer, the big stud running back for Lake Hamilton, after a great start to the game, looks like for some reason he can't hold on to the ball. Every time he touches it, he bobbles it.
Gotten very slippery with his hands in that second quarter. But the theme of the night sort of has been, even back to the 8th grade game, Bobby, the Benton defense forcing turnovers and the Benton offense turning it into points.
And it happens very quickly out here when you let that go. You start the train running. It's like errors in baseball. They seem to be contagious. They seem to go around very quickly. One man makes a mistake, everybody seems to start following it up. Lake Hamilton started putting the ball on the ground, and Brewer put the ball on the ground. It just kept coming. He seems to not be able to take a pitch, and is struggling even with handoffs.
Panthers lead at 35-7. It's gotten tied up at North Little Rock in the premier game in the conference tonight. Bryant leads it at the end of 3, 26-20. North Little Rock will be coming to the Palace next Thursday in a big home game for our Benton Panthers. We've got 2 quarters to get through to get to that one. Benton leads at 35-7 as we prepare for the opening kickoff of the second half. Benton will be receiving, moving right to left. Benton Panther football tonight brought to you by Saline Memorial Hospital, First National Title, and Ashby Funeral Home. Jordy Morales to kick off. He puts his left foot into it and kicks it away from DeAnthony Harper. Deshaun Ward tried to go over and field it, Bobby, and it bobbled off his hands and out of bounds. And Benton's going to start deep in their own territory at the 12.
Huge mistake by Deshaun to touch the ball. The ball was easily bounding out of bounds. He touched the ball, helped it go out of bounds. So Benton, instead of getting the ball at their 35, is going to take over at their own 12 to start this second half.
And the Panthers going to run that first team offense back out there to start the second half. We'll reset the starters for you. Austin Jones, Tristan Redd, Jackson Shelton, Justin Bearden, and T-Shane Pagay on the line. Connor Burrow, Cade Clark, Braxton Slaughter, the receivers. DeAnthony Harper and Sean Thornton in the backfield. Peyton Hudgens engineering the offense at quarterback. He fakes it to DeAnthony. Peyton with running room over the 25 down to the 28, but a flag in the backfield, and we've got a false start coming against the Panthers, and that's going to wipe off a good first down run for Peyton Hudgens.
Didn't see anyone coming in motion, but unfortunately it's to that right edge of the field that I can't see, so I can't tell who's moving down there, but it looks like Benton had someone that moved. Takes us back to the 7-yard line. It
was a late flag for a false start call. Move it back to the 7, and so it'll be first down and 15 for the Panther offense. Going to move DeAnthony Harper into the slot on the right side. Sean Thornton, the tailback, behind Hudgens, and Sean gets the carry running hard up to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 8 for Sean Thornton, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Panthers.
You always think something big is going to happen when number 15 gets hold of the ball. He's not incredibly fast, got good speed, but amazing power for a 9th grader.
See Deshaun Ward check in now for the Panthers on offense. Coach Shaw told me earlier today he wanted to get Deshaun in on offense a little bit tonight, and we see him here on this second down play. Fake it to Deshaun. Peyton Hudgens going to keep, eludes a tackle, gets to the outside, and Peyton Hudgens is going to have first down yardage at the 30-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain.
And it looks like a really nice plan by Coach Shaw. Lake Hamilton had played for the quarterback keeper, the little fake to the running back, Peyton carrying it up the middle in the first half. Benton just used other people throughout the game, and now it looks like Benton's going to take advantage of Lake Hamilton trying to adjust to someone else running the ball with Peyton running it more.
First down and 10 Panthers at their own 30-yard line. The drive started back on their own 12. Fake it to Sean Thornton. Hudgens keeps. Hudgens breaks 2 tackles, and Peyton is loose along the Panther sideline. He's going to be run out of bounds over midfield. It's a 22-yard gain into Lake Hamilton territory at the Wolf 48.
Peyton sneakily showing a little bit of power himself, carrying a defender for the last 2 yards of that and breaking a couple of tackles to even get past the line of scrimmage. They're lining up quickly now.
Boy, and in a game that seems very comfortably in control, you don't want to see Peyton Hudgens get hurt trying to be Superman carrying the football here in the second half. Hudgens going to roll out this time and look downfield, and running by the secondary of Lake Hamilton is Connor Burrow. He makes the catch and is out of bounds at the Wolf 20. It's a gain of 28 yards as Peyton Hudgens connects with Connor Burrow.
Benton taking advantage of a new style of defense that Lake Hamilton ran. They thought they could do it with 10 players on the field that time. They ran too many people off and not enough on. Benton took advantage of it.
We'll take 11 on 10 any day.
I will take those odds.
First down and 10, Benton at the Lake Hamilton 20. Thornton and Harper in the backfield. Thornton gets the carry, and Lake Hamilton's defense that time is going to stop him for just a 1-yard gain.
Thornton trying to run it up the middle. Not a lot of movement that time. Lake Hamilton stiffened up. We're inside the red zone. Often those up the middle yards are even tougher there. You got to get some movement. Got to get a man on man and move him to the side or out of the way to bust that hole open.
Ball is on the right hash. Clark and Slaughter split to the left. Harper in the slot to the left. Burrow, the lone receiver, to the right. Thornton is going to line up to the left side of Peyton Hudgens. The Benton freshman Panther quarterback takes the snap. Rolls to the left. Hudgens looking. Pocket breaks down. He's going to scramble back to the center of the field, and he is going to be inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. It's going to be another Benton Panther first down on a 13-yard run by Peyton Hudgens.
Peyton Hudgens rolling the left, trying to pass the ball. Lake Hamilton pretty much dropped everyone back when he saw that everybody was staying back. Gave Peyton a little bit of room to run, sets up first and goal from the 6.
First and goal Panthers at the Wolf 6-yard line. Drive started on Benton's own 12. Going to flip it out to Cade Clark, and he dropped it. And boy, that's something you never see, Bobby. A drop by Cade Clark.
No, you really don't. Happens to everybody every once in a while. Cade tried to catch the ball in with his body instead of turning his hands over and catching it with his hands, giving him a chance to run. It's very difficult sometimes. These young kids every once in a while will run that little stop route and forget to take a step back and come to the ball. You really, really want to teach these kids, come get the ball.
Second down and goal. Give it to DeAnthony Harper. He's running behind the right side of the Panther offensive line down to the 4-yard line. It's Tristan Redd and Austin Jones. We're trying to lead him to the end zone. It's going to be third down and goal, Panthers at the Wolf 4.
4-yard line, 4:34 to go and counting in the third quarter. Benton still up 35-7 and moving. Short field left, 4 yards for the touchdown and increasing that lead.
Panthers 7 points away from pushing this to a mercy rule game.
Love those kind of games.
Get home quick. Third down and goal at the 4-yard line. Thornton alone back in the backfield. Now Harper goes in motion to the right. Hudgens looking to the left. Connor Burrow has it for the Benton touchdown.
Great throw, just a little corner route to Connor Burrow. He steps out away from the receiver, and Peyton put it exactly where it needed to be. No way the Lake Hamilton defender could possibly come close to touching the ball. Connor with a nice catch for the touchdown gives Benton the 41-7 lead.
Yeah, let's not get cute here. Let's kick an extra point and make it a 35-point game, please. Panthers lining up to kick the extra point. Austin Jones will be the kicker. Hudgens the holder. Jaden Woolbright the snapper. Perfect snap, perfect hold, and Austin Jones with a perfect kick. And we've got a penalty marker thrown at the end. Do we have a running into the kicker penalty? That's exactly what it's going to be. Running into the kicker against Lake Hamilton. Randy Shaw is going to decline it. They're going to assess it on the kickoff. So the kick's good. It's 42-7, Bobby, and that means?
That means the mercy rule is in effect.
So we are about 12 minutes away from being done.
Yes, sir. It will happen quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, the clock only stops on timeouts, possession changes, injuries, and scores.
How about 9 plays, 88 yards, and 3 minutes, 58 seconds to start the second half?
That's a great start. That is an absolutely great start. Benton finally showed their offense tonight, put some stats together, really made it look nice, and getting ready to kick off to this Lake Hamilton team with the clock now able to run.
It was a 5-yard penalty assessed on this kickoff against Lake Hamilton for running into the kicker. So the ball's teed up at the 45-yard line. Big Austin Jones. He's had some pancake blocks. He's had a fumble recovery. He's kicked extra points. And now he's going to boot this one down to Braden Broughton, who fields it at the 20. Coming up, he runs out of a tackle from Luke Hopcroft before he is tackled by Jaden Shoemate and Austin Taylor for the Panthers special teams.
Tell you what, Broughton really runs the ball well. He's got a little bit of speed, carries it out from the 20, has a little 23-yard return out to the 43-yard line. Benton did a nice job of coverage. He's just got a lot of speed.
Panthers with that first-team defense still out there. Panthers lead at 42-7, 3:30 to go in the third quarter. Wolf offense comes to the line of scrimmage. They're going to pitch it to Malik Brewer running left, and he's going to be tackled. As coming up to make the tackle was Deshaun Ward.
Deshaun Ward, ever active out there at his free safety position, stops the play. After about a 3.5, 4-yard gain, we'll call it the Benton 47.
Second down and 6 for Lake Hamilton, and I've never seen an offense run substitutions on so late, Bobby. They huddle, and they send a guy on after the huddle breaks on nearly every play.
It's incredible. They really look kind of disorganized, to be honest with you. But when they're going, they can go.
Braden Broughton on the carry this time. He's going to be into Panther territory at the 49, another 4-yard gain. And Braxton Slaughter came up to make a great tackle that time.
Slaughter makes the play on Broughton, sends him sprawling, but he stops at the Benton 49-yard line. Lake Hamilton moving a little bit, but with the clock running, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to do anything about this 35-point lead.
Third down and 2 Wolves. Ball at the Benton 49. Benton leads at 42-7 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wolves with the receiver bunched on the left side, split on the right side, and now it appears as if we've got movement in the center of the line. The umpire behind the Benton linebackers threw the marker. That's usually a false start on the offense. And that's exactly what's coming up, as that's going to move Lake Hamilton back 5 yards and give the Wolves a 3rd and 7.
Makes it a little more interesting. This offense has not, although they started out, they have not done a very good job of making longer to medium yardage plays and getting anything out of them. It's almost guaranteed with the 35-point deficit. If they don't get it on 3rd down, we'll still see their offense on 4th.
Lake Hamilton with just 1 completion in the game to their own receiver. And, of course, 1 completion to Grant Steed, who took it 81 yards on the interception return.
And no one has punted tonight.
3rd down and 7, Lake Hamilton. Going to run Brewer, going to run the toss to him. Out there almost making the tackle in the open field for Benton. was Austin Herndon. Brewer able to get away from him. Ethan Hambrick is going to be credited with the tackle. Brewer gets it to midfield, a 4-yard gain, and it's going to be 4th and 3 for the Wolves.
We'll see if the Benton defense can step up. Clock is winding down very quickly, down to 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. You got to love the mercy rule.
Panthers lead at 42-7. Wolves in the huddle trying to decide what personnel they want to get into the ball game. Snap clock down to 10 seconds. Game clock at 16. We've got a receiver on the far sideline that never went into the huddle and Benton doesn't see him.
Coaches do, however.
Yeah. Coach Dorsey comes running out and he did see him. And that's probably a credit to the coaches upstairs. Jason Gentry and Garrett Hammonds upstairs tonight probably saw that just like we did and ordered the timeout from up above.
Well, what's funny about it is Lake Hamilton comes to the line. They've got a receiver split wide over by their sideline. Nobody within 15 yards of them. Lake Hamilton calls the timeout. Benton was screaming at their defenders to get over there, but didn't get the timeout called before, for some reason, Lake Hamilton did.
Well, I thought Coach Dorsey was running out calling timeout.
He was trying, but the officials saw the call from Lake Hamilton first, and Lake Hamilton eats their first timeout of the second half. They literally killed 25, 30 seconds of the clock themselves with the lack of organization.
Panthers lead at 42-7. We got perhaps one play, well, definitely one play because the clock's not going to stop. In the third quarter, Benton up 35, 42-7.
4th and 3, and we'll see if this Benton offense can make a stop to end the third quarter. And we may start seeing some subs come in really quickly when the fourth quarter rolls around.
Where's Malik Brewer? He's in the right slot. They're going to run it to Broughton to the right side, and Broughton's going to have the first down over the 45-yard line. Luke Hopcroft and Braxton Slaughter in on the tackle, and that's going to end the third quarter. It's 42-7 Panthers as we go to the fourth quarter. We're going to take a 60-second break. This is Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com. Start of the fourth quarter, Benton leads Lake Hamilton 42-7. It's first down and 10 Wolves at the Benton 44. Give it to Malik Brewer, and he's dropped in the backfield for a loss. That's Luke Hopcroft, Bobby. That guy just shows up and shows out every week and impresses us.
You've got to love that kid. He is really a special player that has done some great things this year. Really come on. I think this kid will make some noise when he gets to the high school level. Second down and 14 for Lake Hamilton. 7:21 and running on the clock. Fourth quarter.
Panthers getting some Tuesday night players in the ball game now. Dalton Taylor in there. Braden Murdoch in there. Rolling out the pass and almost intercepted as Braden Clark was trying to hit a receiver in the flat, and out there almost coming up with it for the Panthers. Is that Caleb Kaufman in coverage?
Surely not.
That's Caleb Kaufman. We don't have a 54 on the roster. How about the nose man in coverage?
Well,
Wow.
It's not a shock that he didn't catch it. I've tried to play catch with Caleb Kaufman before. He's a good player, great kid, but he's not a receiver.
3rd down and 14 Wolves at the Benton 48-yard line. Clark back to pass again. He's throwing it deep, and he's going to overthrow his receiver at the 25-yard line. Braxton Slaughter in coverage for the Panthers, so it'll be 4th and 14 Wolves.
Lake Hamilton really, after that first drive and looking so good with the turnovers, with kick return, with adversity coming their way, they just have not been the same team, haven't been able to hold it together. And this game has really turned into a blowout of the ugliest kind at this point.
4th down and 14 for Lake Hamilton. Double slot. 2 receivers. Clark straight back. He's pressured. Pressure coming. He throws it deep, and it's caught, and Lake Hamilton's going to score. As Joey Kilzer made the catch, and Lake Hamilton scores on a 4th and 14. Braxton Slaughter almost tipped that ball away, Bobby. That Kilzer makes the catch and scores for Lake Hamilton.
Benton just got lost. The good news is that even the clock operator at Lake Hamilton doesn't know how the mercy rules works. And the clock was still running for about 10 seconds.
Don't tell him.
I can't imagine anybody could hear me in this box. Really can't imagine it.
They can't hear us, but they can smell us.
Yeah.
From the sweat.
Shower should happen immediately upon return to Benton.
Braden Clark will hold Jordy Morales to kick, and they even run guys late on the extra point. Penalty marker as Morales' kick hits the upright, hits the crossbar, bounces over. And we've got a penalty marker against Lake Hamilton, and they've had all kinds of trouble all night long, Bobby, just getting their personnel on the field.
Clunk, clunk. They had a young man running on the field late, didn't know he was on or forgot he was on the extra point team, running on the field. Morales tries the kick, hits the right upright, hits the stanchion coming down to the ground. 2 clunks, it goes through, but he doesn't get anything for the attempt. He's going to have to mark it back to 15 for a 25-yarder and try again.
So Morales is going to have to try again. We'll see what he does with this one. It's 42-13. Morales puts his foot into it. Benton got a hand on it. Panthers blocked that one. Did you see who got it?
Did not see who got it. There were a bunch of Panther arms going up. Kick was really, really low, just barely above the line. And somebody just got a finger on it, and it tumbled down and landed about the goal line.
Score update. North Little Rock and Bryant 26-26.
Wow.
With 2 seconds left. Bryant lining up for a 35-yard field goal to win the game. Finally got a score update from Daniel Turbofield of Jones Heat and Air, one of the fine corporate sponsors of Benton Panther football. The Benton Panther 7th graders tonight got to play on the Palace turf.
Oh, wow. That's great.
They played Holy Souls. The first game, the A game, ended in a 26-26 tie. And the second game, the B team game, the Panthers fell short 6-0.
Wow.
So sounds like a fun night for the 7th graders getting to play at the Palace on the Parkway tonight back home in Benton.
And unfortunately, the Holy Souls had that power going.
Well, you got out with a tie and a 1-touchdown loss. Not a bad night for the 7th graders as Jordy Morales is going to kick off for Lake Hamilton. Boy, the Wolves down 42-13. They kick it deep. Deshaun Ward picks it up. Oh, my word. Landon Trusty just threw his flag 30 yards. Most impressive flag throw I have ever seen by an official. Deshaun Ward was dropped at the 22-yard line. And Landon Trusty, like the old quarterback he is, I wish Matt Johnson had been here with the camera crew to catch that. That was impressive.
He threw it from about the 10, and it landed at the 33 or 34 yard line.
Man, he's got good arm and a good set of eyes to pick up on that one, as the penalty is going to go against Benton. Mike McDonald, the vice president of AFCO Steel, informs us that the field goal was no good, and Bryan and North Little Rock are going to overtime, Bobby, tied at 26. Penalty marks it back to the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 11. Benton leads at 42-13. And now we've got that clock running. Dalton Taylor in at quarterback for the Panthers, and he's going to hand it off. Is that Kobe Gosviner?
Probably so.
Sure
Looks
is.
like it.
Kobe on the carry, and he's up to the 20-yard line. 9-yard gain for Kobe on first down. See if we can get some of these Panthers in there. I know that's Grant Steed out at receiver for Ben. Carter Hutchinson also in there at receiver. Going to give it off this time to Connor Burrow in the. No, it's not Connor Burrow in the backfield. Who was that, Bobby? Did you catch it?
Didn't see a number. Looking.
It's going to be first down yardage up to the 27-yard line. That was Bryson Hammock on the carry that time for Benton. Give him 6 yards. It's first down and 10 Panthers at their own 26. Nolan Pope in at right tackle in this possession for Benton as Gosviner gets the carry, and he's up to the 33-yard line. Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 Benton.
Nice job of running clock by this second-team Benton offense, coming in and moving the ball very well on the ground. Looks like Lake Hamilton has put in some subs.
Adam Archer in on the offensive line. Jonathan Sisk in there. Jose Simon at center for the Panthers on this possession. As the give off this time is that
16.
Isaac Moore getting the carry that time for the Panthers. And he's going to be up to the 36-yard line. It's enough for another Benton Panther first down.
3 minutes to go in the game. 42-13 Benton, moving the ball on the ground, running clock. Mercy rule is in effect. Looks like these ninth graders are going to go home with a big win.
Snap back. Give it off to Isaac Moore. And Moore is going to pick up 2 yards. And the Panthers just milking that. Well, that was Gosviner that time. Kobe on the carry. 18 and 16. Having a hard time picking them out. And the bad news is I just got a new pair of glasses last week. That's not good.
I may have to borrow them from you sometime.
2nd down and 8 for Benton. The clock under 2.5 minutes to go. 42-13. Benton leads. Dalton Taylor takes the snap. Gets the pitch off to Isaac Moore, and he's going to be tackled at the 40-yard line. Gain of 2 for Isaac, and it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers.
Benton still moving the ball, looking good, just trying to get that clock to run, now under 2 minutes. Offense getting lined up. The difference in execution in these teams just absolutely unbelievable.
Give it off to Hammock. Running hard. Bryson Hammock up to the 49-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain and another Benton first down. And Bobby, after the time of possession was so lopsided in the first half, how about Lake Hamilton with only 1 possession in the second half?
Absolutely incredible. Benton has just shut down that Lake Hamilton offense that looked so good on that first drive. It didn't look like that we were going to be able to shut them down at all tonight. And Benton has just had their way with Hamilton in the second half, but for 1 pass. Lake Hamilton with a first down and a touchdown, and that's the entire offense the second half.
Panthers go back and in a rare move, huddle. They come out in the victory formation, and Dalton Taylor's going to take the snap, and he's going to take a knee. And the Panthers are going to get out of here with a big win tonight, Bobby, in conference play, and it's going to set up a showdown next Thursday at the Palace. You will want to be there by 7 o'clock as our Central Arkansas Junior High undefeated conference Benton Panthers are going to play host to potentially an undefeated North Little Rock team. North Little Rock and Bryan are in overtime. It's tied at 26. We'll hope to get a final score before we go home tonight. Panthers got to snap it one more time, and Dalton Taylor takes the snap, takes a knee at the 45-yard line. Panthers watch the clock run out, and Benton's going to win this one tonight, 42-13 over Lake Hamilton. Bobby, a great ball game tonight for our Benton Panthers.
Absolutely amazing. They played really, really well. Give me just 1 second, shut the game out, spit some stats out, and we will be good to go.
And I need a screenshot of that tonight, too.
Okay.
Benton wins it 42-13, just totally dominating tonight for the Panthers, offensively and defensively, and working together with the defense forcing turnovers and the offense turning them into points. In the opener tonight, the 8th graders got their first win of the season, 25-16. The freshmen get their 3rd straight win on the season, 3-0 now in the conference play, as it's 42-13. Panthers defeat Lake Hamilton tonight. Going to see some impressive numbers as Bobby brings them up. And what you got there on the screen, sir?
As a team, and interestingly enough, the stats aren't that great. Benton had 12 first downs, Lake Hamilton 8. Net yards rushing, Benton 125, Lake Hamilton 123. Net yards passing, 134 for Benton, 58 for Lake Hamilton. Peyton Hudgens was 5 of 7 passing. Great percentage for all those 134 yards. That's 19.1 yards per attempt. That tells you we were getting it downfield quick. Benton total offense, 259 yards, 181 for Lake Hamilton. 30 plays on offense for Benton, 33 for Lake Hamilton. Vast difference from what we saw in that first quarter. Benton had 30 offensive carries, offensive plays in 3 quarters of the game. Average gain for Benton was 8.6 yards per play. Nobody punted, which is interesting. Benton had 3 penalties for 21 yards. Lake Hamilton 4 penalties for 20. Give me about half a second because I know everybody wants to hear individuals. Peyton Hutchins had 6 carries for 58 yards. DeAnthony Harper, 3 carries, 22 yards. Kobe Gosfeiner, 3 carries, 19 yards. Bryson Hammock, 2 carries, 14 yards. Sean Thornton, 5 for 10. Isaac Moore, 2 for 5. Peyton Hudgens, 5 of 7 passing for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, 48 was his long. Connor Burrow, the leading receiver tonight, 2 for 32 yards, 1 touchdown. DeAnthony Harper, 1 for 48. Braxton Slaughter, 1 for 32. And Cade Clark, 1 for 22. Big play by DeAnthony Harper was the 85-yard kickoff return on Benton, the very first time Benton got to touch the ball in an offensive fashion, and the huge 81-yard interception return by Grant Steed to really just shut Lake Hamilton down.
Yeah, that second quarter, all 3 Lake Hamilton possessions, turnovers. Austin Jones recovered a fumble. Ethan Hambrick recovered a fumble. Grant Steed with the big interception return for a touchdown. Great night tonight from Ethan Hambrick. I've got him for 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. Just a really good job at defensive end for Benton.
Absolutely incredible night. The team came to play. It looked like they were a little bit questionable there at the very beginning, but they really put it together quickly and played some great football for almost a full 4 quarters.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have to go to the house. I'm watching my phone to see if an update comes in from North Little Rock before we have to sign off. North Little Rock and Bryan are in overtime, tied at 26. We're going to have all the stats from tonight's game. We're going to have a game report up on BentonPantherFootball.com. later this evening or first thing in the morning, and we'll also have that final score from North Little Rock Stadium. Regardless of how that turns out, Bobby, I think there's 3 teams at the top of the heap in the conference this year. Our Benton Panthers, North Little Rock, and Bryant. And North Little Rock is coming to the Palace next Thursday.
Don't think there's any question about what the class of the conference looks like. And Benton is very much in the mix. We've just got to keep playing the way we played through most of this game tonight. And it will be a really, really fun ride the rest of the way this season.
Final score comes in 33-26, Bryant wins.
Wow.
So Bryant has defeated North Little Rock in overtime. North Little Rock will come to the Palace next week, 2-1 in conference play. Benton will be undefeated at 3-0. Boy, it's been a fun one tonight. Panthers played great. 8th graders got their first win. Freshmen continue to be undefeated in conference play. Tomorrow night, we're going to Russellville, and we've got the 6A West conference opener, and it's going to be a good one up there tomorrow night as the Panthers and the Cyclones tangle at Cyclone Stadium. Pre-game at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arkansas and on BentonPantherFootball.com, courtesy of Fidelity Local 6. Matt Johnson will be producing and directing. It's going to be a lot of fun, so you'll want to join us for the pregame at 6:30 and kickoff at 7 o'clock. For Bobby McAllister and his wonderful stats and commentary and analysis and friendship, for Freddie Reinhardt, the #1 fan of the Benton Panthers. It's a great night to be a Panther, isn't it, Freddie?
You better believe it.
We're going home winners. Benton wins it. 8th graders 25-16, freshmen 42-13. Till tomorrow night, thanks for listening to Benton Panther Football on BentonPantherFootball.com.
You have a full set of individual and team stats.
You is the man.
Which one?
I blocked my shot.
Which one is yours?
Neither one of them mine. They're both his.
Now, how's the best way we're going to go about getting these printed for Thursday night road games?
There is no way.
Just have to get it tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. I forgot to mute this.